What up, peeps? Welcome to the Kisscapades podcast. I'm your host, John Telewa, aka the Kiss Bandit. And in this show, we explore the key elements that shape our fulfilling existence, from health and well-being to financial success, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. We cover it all. Our guests include experts, professionals, and everyday individuals who have remarkable stories to tell. Tune in to learn practical tips, gain valuable insights, and discover strategies for personal growth and transformation. Whether you're seeking to improve your health, build your wealth, enhance relationships, or find lasting happiness, we got you covered. Welcome to today's episode. Another week, another amazing episode with a very, very special guest. So today I don't know how I can start this off, but, people are always talking about I bring so many different people to the podcast, so they never know what to expect. So, and in today's case, I'll just let him introduce himself first. Name, what you do, and then we'll just take it from there.
My name is Rolf Lemayan, the GoatMasterKe. So I'm a farmer and a lawyer and a risk and compliance strategist. So that's what I do.
That's what we need in the industry now, especially when everybody's in business is just trying to know what to do right with the government policies, the new policies that are coming in place.
Yes.
I think that's where the term compliance comes in, right?
Yeah, compliance is more of, if you look at the SMEs, you see everyone is struggling about the new generation. People don't want to be employed, they want employment and stuff. So as much as someone is trying to set up a business, he must be able to be compliant with the various laws, regulations, policy, standards. So if it's someone in the IT sector, you cannot just call yourself a web developer yet you don't understand even ICTA guidelines of setting up a system. If you're talking about a cloud service provider, what are the various things to check out in a cloud service provider agreement? Yeah, the aspects of privacy and data protection.
That's a lot for me to comprehend, but you know what? We watch it, we go play it back and actually understand. That's why I think it's also just important to bring all these different, because at times people just think it's just waking up in the morning and just start doing whatever you want. Until now you're told hey, by the you're supposed to be following some regulations here. These are the policies that are supposed to be in place. And also just to protect your business now and in the future. Don't get fined, don't get caught in bad corners and all those things that come with businesses and, just regulations as per se. But anyway, the main agenda for this podcast, of course, we've been following each other on TikTok.
Yeah.
I've been watching your content and I was just this is very interesting because I think I followed you first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was there's just somebody on TikTok and their page is just dedicated about not all livestock, but it was specifically goat.
Small stock, so it's more sheep and goat.
Sheep and goat.
Yes.
Yeah, but just from your handle says goat master. So I don't even think I've noticed sheep in your page. I was just goat master, so now it's just goat.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to understand how you got in that specific industry. And why that industry? Because I'm guessing this is not what you studied in school. And even when you start talking about compliance, law, and all these other things, this is a whole other industry that you've left, and you're not even putting content out about that industry. You're just putting out content about small livestock. Should I say so?
Yes.
So how did you get into this and why? Because lawyers, I know lawyers well. Lawyers are hanging somewhere smoking cigars, whiskey, after a good day in court.
Yes.
And a good paycheck. So why move from that, or why is this your main focus, and how did you get into it?
Oh, okay. So when I was a kid, I happened to, when I was in primary, I was among the biggest dog breeders. I call them low budget German Shepherd because they're the kienyeji dogs. So I happened to stumble a sick dog, a dog which was bleeding. Then I came with it at home, and then my mom was, why are you bringing a sick dog at home? So unfortunately, if I was a modern parent, I would have been able to know that I need to nurture this kid to be a vet officer.
Yeah. I'm already seeing something, an interest there.
Yes. So unfortunately, as parents right now, despite having a washing machine, we still try to beat our children when they're playing with sand instead of seeing this potential farmer.
Yeah.
This is a potential farmer. We need to see how to buy gifts around some fake fork, some tools, djembe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while in primary, I used to do pigeons and almost all animals, because I had a portion of rabbits as well, and I used to feel I was like an animal collector. So when guys were used to saying their hobby is collecting stamps,
Yeah.
For me, hobby was collecting
Rabbits, puppies.
yes, having
Everything.
those, yeah. Till one day when Kanjo, there was that time a while back when they were trying to reduce the number of dogs. So one day morning, I wake up when I was going to class 7. Then I meet some 20 dead bodies of dogs because they had thrown the meat inside the compound. Yeah. So that's how they killed my.
Oh, so now they threw the meat in your compound?
Yes.
Ooh.
So that's when now it's sort of I had a heartbreak, and I paused on it. Though on the other segment we used to have Frisian cows. So the Frisian cows, they used to give me serious character development, but at least they used to provide. They used to inform my mother whenever she touches the gate. They have not seen her, but whenever she touches the gate, then they sort of say, Rolf has not given us water today.
There's a way making noises.
There's a way universe, even animals have feelings.
Yeah,
yes.
That's true.
So there's a way they come into it. So for white goats.
Yeah, because now, even now, the reason I've asked that is because now, I would go back and ask, what you studied probably, in school.
Background, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Your educational background. Just from uni and, maybe an 8 to 5 experience, kind of.
Okay. So, for me, once I finished, when I was in Form 1, I happened to, if I can backtrack a little bit, when Easy FM was Nation FM, for those who understand the history. So when I was in class 6, there was a certain song of Aisha. So it's a French song.
Yeah.
So it's like Aisha, écoutez-moi. So when I heard that, then the radio presenter said, écoutez-moi, it's French. It means listen to me.
Oh.
So at that, in science, we call that eureka moment. I said, wow, okay. I was in a CDF school, but I said I have to study hard.
Yeah.
I had to study hard till I get to understand the lyrics of that song, because for me it is an interesting, it's an interesting song. So that's how I got into study, and I told my mom that I have to get to a high school that has French. So I just had the love for French. So I had forgotten to introduce that I'm also certified French translator by the
You can speak French?
Ministry of France, yes. French level for international French.
I've only had one other guest here, and she could speak French. And you know her, she's the youngest guest that I've had on the podcast, because she was 16.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
we need to link up.
Very fluent in French. Okay, so but just go on with it. And I wish, that's the craziest part even about, just to add on that, on just learning foreign languages like French, German, or maybe Chinese.
Especially Chinese.
Those things, when you're in school, they never seem so important.
Yeah.
I did my first Euro trip.
Yes.
I was in France. I'm telling you, if you can speak any foreign language, even if it's Italian, like you will have such an easy time everywhere.
Even in business.
Because
my
even there, when you just land there, even when you're talking about business, you can communicate.
even here in Kenya.
Even here, okay, yeah.
I had a challenge when I had my first client. I had an Italian client in Malindi. So I used to use French to hear some words.
Yeah.
So you say avocado, you know, for them, in French we say avocat. Avocat means now the advocate. So if I had the opportunity to know Italy, the Italian language, then it gives a plus, especially to the clients. There is that aspect of the client does not need to use Google Translator.
And their eyes just glow up. Once you say like you can speak like Italian,
They
and
feel
you just speak Italiano. They're like, what?
Yes.
We're working with it. They don't even want to know about anything else. We're working with you.
Yes.
Because we can communicate.
They feel, foreigners, they feel as if they're speaking to someone, they feel at home.
Yeah.
And at ease, even if no matter the quotation you give, there's that aspect of this is one of our own.
This is a Chinese. If you can speak any Chinese, they don't even want to know where you learned it or what your qualifications. If you finished school or if you didn't, you can talk our language. You're working with them.
Yes.
Easy. And they're cutting that check by the way. So trust me, foreign languages come in handy. If you're in school or if you have an opportunity to learn a foreign language, please don't take it for granted. It comes in very handy.
Yeah. So I'll say it's like lightning. You let it strike, yeah?
Yes.
Because people might see you are crazy. I remember myself when I got into French class, and I happened to join the 4th week.
Yeah.
So guys had already studied the introduction part. You have some guys from group of schools.
Of course, they've been doing it for a while.
They've been doing it for a while. So myself, when I got in, so it was in the introduction period. And then they asked me, I remember it so nicely. It's still today because guys laughed at me. So I still remember it's fresh.
Yeah.
So I was asked, comment tu t'appelles? When I was asked, comment tu t'appelles, I kept quiet. Why? I had an answer, but I didn't know if that answer is right because if you're a big fan of Willow Longomba, I know you know.
I was about to say coupe vibamba.
Exactly. That's what.
We don't like get out.
So I almost said because for me, I found that I said, wow, it's always good to listen to songs because now I've gotten an answer.
Yeah.
But then I paused and asked myself, really, is it the right answer?
Yeah.
Then I said, it's better I keep quiet. People laugh at me than saying something.
Yeah,
so
something crazy.
That's the sad part about a foreign language. If you keep it to yourself, you can speak, even you can speak some French, some fluent French, so long as your mouth is shut.
Because once you just open it and say something.
Yeah, so I kept quiet. So everyone in class laughed. So by that time we were using a hall because we were so many of us. So you're around like 60 guys. You can imagine 60 guys laughing at you, except one guy who was sitting next to me. He was a fellow class rep. He's the one who whispered and said, "Hey, they're asking your name."
Your name? What's your name?
And then I said, so I asked him, how do you say? They say, je m'appelle, and then you say your name. Okay. So then I said, je m'appelle Rolf. Because I knew that in French we don't have an R. So it's like a Western language. People from Western hack it. So it has the
oh really?
It has there's no R.
Yeah.
So whenever there is R, then that is like my name is ROLPH.
Yeah.
So it's Rolf.
Rolf.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's easier for people who have those hayega, those as if you have some little bit of cold.
So if you're Somali,
there's they can try.
They can pick up a bit. And actually most of them are also like a lot of them are in France as well.
They speak, yeah.
And I think they also like kind of pick up fast. But there are some nationalities that people are just interested in languages. People just learn fast. But I get it.
A serious businessman must study several languages.
No, true.
Yeah.
I really wish I knew like any of those.
You will not need to work with a translator, and it will be easier to decipher.
Even Spanish, anything. Unfortunately. But go on. Yes. So now you know you're French and.
Yeah. So the French, when I got in, my mom asked me why French. Then I told her, you see this group of schools over there. Yeah. Once I finish, I'll teach there.
Oh. Okay.
So in Form 2, I had to hustle. I had to hustle to get the dictionary. So that first day, I told my teacher that if there's an opportunity for you to grant me just 15 minutes to be able to give me heads up on the alphabet and pronunciation, then I promise you, next day in class, I'll be able to participate. Then I think she thought I'm a crazy student.
Yeah.
So she was a lady, a fine lady. And you know, boys with...
of course.
Let me not explain.
Yeah. I mean, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So there are several guys who joined the class because the teacher was a fine teacher.
Yeah.
But some of us, we are not, like me, I had not seen the teacher. So for me, it was more of the love for the French. The rest is the rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I happened to go. She gave me the pronunciation. The Lord being my shepherd, the next day morning, there was a class. The beauty about foreign languages, every day is a new day.
Yeah.
So the verbs that you are taught is not the same as yesterday. So the teacher said, today we are teaching about ER verbs. So the verbs ending with ER. Then he said, how do you say? Then she asked, how do you say, listen to me in French? And remember my song when I was in class 6, it was écoutez-moi, means listen to me. So that's there I said, oh, wow. Let me see who will answer that one. Because this guy is, I was like the David in Goliath battle.
Yeah. Don't tell me nobody in class knew how to say it.
Nobody raised the hand, so...
What?
I had to
and
check.
It's the one thing that you actually knew
The
properly.
only thing, for me, I didn't know bonjour the way everyone knows.
Yeah.
For me, I never knew bonjour. I only knew the écoutez-moi and
Yeah.
stuck with it.
Yeah.
So I raised my hand. Then the teacher was amazed. She's like, Rob,
How?
Rolf.
Yeah.
I said, yes. Then I said, écoutez-moi.
Yeah.
Then she was amazed.
Like,
I said-
what?
So then I had another.
Yeah, just joined us.
I had a new word, félicitations, congratulations.
Oh.
Then I was like, oh, that's my second word.
Yeah.
Then she asked me, how do you spell it? Then I say, I don't know how to spell it, but I know.
Yeah.
I know it means that.
Yeah.
So that's how, fast forward, when I was in Form 3, I happened to be now the president of French Club.
That's crazy.
President
That's
of
wild.
French. Yeah. So fast forward, I finished Form 4. I had strategy. You see, life without strategy is difficult. So I had strategy and said, let me go to French public speaking. Once I have those certs, I'll use those certs to go into that group of school place and teach French. So when I finished, the results were not yet out. And I happened to draft my CV
Yeah.
and took to that school. It's a private school. And told them, hey, I can teach French. So funny thing is, they had to look for another teacher to come and cross-check if
Just to make sure by this
no, they
guy,
gave, yeah.
he's not just telling us things. After.
Yeah, he's not speaking lawyer here. And,
Plus, even somebody who's supposed to give you the job,
yeah.
if they don't know French, they don't know how to vet you, by the way. So
They gave me a marking scheme to do a marking scheme. Within 2 minutes, I was done. Then they're like, okay, despite you having sorted this,
Yeah.
we need just to know. It's like, I'll say compliance. They want to, it's like a quality control.
yeah.
Does this guy really speak French? So the teacher came and I was waiting in the lobby. Then the teacher comes and say, bonjour, Rolf. Then the owner of the school asks the teacher, do you know this guy? And he say, yeah, this is my son. Because I used to beat his boys in French public speaking.
Yeah.
So she had to know me.
Oh, she remembers very well.
During
She
French
knows this
public
for-
speaking. You know,
okay.
I was unfortunate because my best teacher left when I was in Form 2. And during Form 2, you can imagine me doing a course, doing a unit. We call it unit.
Yeah.
Subject.
We can call it
Unit.
subject, unit. Yeah. Uh-huh.
We must escape the matrix. We use whatever we want.
Yeah.
So that's when now I remember my marks that made me do French was 20% because the teacher wanted to reduce jokers. So she gave us a grammar paper for Form 3s. So people used to see stars in the exam. So guys used to just write name.
Yeah.
And then they step out because they can't write anything.
Oh.
The grammar,
And what were they doing in class the whole time?
no, I think it was a strategy by the
Oh,
teacher.
like those ones of like, okay, let me just filter out first.
I want
of
to
all the
filter
people.
out genuine,
Let me pick people who want
Yes.
to really learn. Yeah. Okay.
just like heaven.
yeah.
They
Makes
say
sense.
many are called but few are chosen. So
True.
So I happened to I told myself that if this exam is this difficult, then for me I'll be able to I'll not be able to hack it. fortunate enough, every evening from 9 to 9:45, I used to study French like maths every day. So that's how I hacked. And the 20% came from composition writing, where I got 18. And the 2% was from the grammar, because now the grammar was a top-notch grammar.
Yeah,
Grammar
that one's on point.
It's like watching soap opera, which is in Spanish and you don't have subtitles. Yeah. So that's how now the teacher left, and I happened to continue teaching. So I was a teacher even before being hired after Form 4, because I used to teach the other guys the French choral verses. I even drafted my own composition poem and took them till nationals with it. It was about les problèmes des jeunes, problems facing the youth.
I'm telling you, like, have you gone to France?
Yes.
How was your experience there? Knowing that now you land there, and even from just the airport, you can actually just speak like their language.
So it's a long story, because during French public speaking, now that's where I was getting into.
And remember, we still have to go back to our main agenda.
We are getting to the goats.
But this is such an interesting segue, because like now we get to know like how you actually...
Yeah. So I will link it, because a set of skills comes in towards capital raising. So if we can now go to the goat farming part. So if...
Oh, don't leave us. You've landed at the airport. We'll go back. Just give us, even if it's like a little bit like 5.
Let me just a snippet. So
just how it was.
When the teacher left, I had to continue sorting out the other students.
Yeah.
And then I happened to be in Form 3 without a teacher, Form 4 without a teacher. So I was the one training the rest. So unfortunately, I was denied half a mark to go to France during national French public speaking. But I told myself, anyway, it's just because I don't have a teacher, and Kenya is Kenya. I will not say Kenya. I will not say Kenya we are corrupt.
Yeah,
but Kenya,
it's just the way at times, you know.
Yeah. So I was told that my only mistake was just looking at the paper that they gave me themselves about the thematic area. So that was the only mistake that I had. But anyway, first thing first, I said I'll still use the skill set. So whatever matters is the skill set.
Yeah.
Now that French is the one that now able sustain me to sort my siblings. I lost my parents when I was 19.
Sorry.
So the set of skills came in.
Both,
yes. So I had to.
Can I ask how or no?
It's personal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Fair enough. Fair enough. I always ask people like you. I have to ask
it's called,
because that's what builds your character and also gives you the drive. And it always like plays out on how somebody ends up. Like a couple of years later, somebody has a drive because of this, or this is what made them push. Like,
in your analysis, it seems you're a shrink. Your analysis seems
I talk to people here every day.
You sharpen your brains.
Yes.
It's like farming. You must weed out the weeds.
You
must weed out the weeds.
A bit, and then after all, now you find like now the perfect,
Yes.
But yeah.
So that's how now I had to sort my siblings using the French. I now decided.
Are you teaching? When you're making money, you're also taking care of them and everything. Responsibility at a very early age.
I became 50 years old at 19.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing, huh?
Yeah.
But by then I didn't know. You see, the Lord is gracious.
Because then you're thinking like, why am I going through this? Yeah. Guys who are, I can, kwanza at 19, what?
Yeah.
Everybody else is just having a blast. You, unfortunately, you have to.
Then I had to venture in. I took that school till nationals. Now I was trying to do the link up. After the teacher said, this is my son. You see, unfortunate bit about life is connections.
Yep.
It's unfortunate, but you see sometimes if you lack connections, my mantra is simple. Kula kitabu. Study. Because if you're blessed with brains, then
you have to.
That's connection. That's a connection.
Yeah.
Because the books.
But I think the other network is way more important. Right now, Oma, what do you think? Unless I'm wrong.
At the moment is networking.
Yeah.
It's more of networking is a crucial aspect. You cannot say that I'm in law school and I want to be. I'll live my life.
Yeah.
It's even not just law school, but any. I tell guys, when you're in campus, it's a great opportunity because some of us, for me, it took me 7 years to get back to law school because I had to sort the siblings.
Yeah.
But it was a great feeling because I became a very serious businessman. Because later on after French, I went to Mombasa to do, I used to lecture French in Mombasa. because while I was teaching the primary school, I was studying at night and applied exams, international French from Alliance. So I was a self-taught student, just applying for exam. I began with the Eldoret one, and I emerged the third one as an external student. And then I did the next level, level A2. That one I did it in Nairobi. Then I emerged number 2. Then I did the fourth level. Then I emerged again number 2 as an external student. And that one's a very difficult exam because I had even the French, we had some 2 students who are French nationals. Yeah. It was difficult. So now I happened to add another additional skill along the way because I was seeing that the income I'm getting is not sufficient. So I had to study web design, graphic design and web design. So in 2008 and 9, I was the baddest web designer. By then, guys, it's not like right now where anyone can be a web designer.
Yeah, and then making a website, it was like, what? If
HTML.
You have that skill then.
It was serious.
That was like, that
HTML.
was good. Yeah, that was proper.
Just to use HTML. So that's how now I managed to survive in terms of law school and combination of French translations. So that's why for one to survive, it requires a set of skills. So you cannot just say, I think even the syllabus needs to be changed a little bit.
No, it has to change.
Sales should be taught in primary.
And I've been talking about this like always to like maybe if I have younger guests or people like who I know like a slightly different age group, I'm like, it's very unfortunate because I see people like at times they're posting like pictures like I've graduated. And, like in your description, you're saying I'm an introvert. I like my own nini. I'm like...
my own space.
Yeah. I'm just like, wow, this is going to be like a total disaster. Because, for one, once you step outside the door, it's how you just talk to people. How you talk to... And you'd never know. Because, like, now if you're already used to being in your own shell, yes, you've read, you've done everything correctly. Let's say even if it's law, you're a lawyer. Do you know how many maniacs and lunatics you have to deal with? Because of course I'm not saying that field has to deal with just lunatics, but I'm just saying
we have the corporate part, which is a beautiful, like you calling me and telling me hi Rolf.
Yes,
I want to be data compliant.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's true. But like even in that still, like you'll always have like people who are banging heads because I'm trying to be like, this is not what we agreed on.
Resolution.
Yeah, this is not what we agreed on. Like, okay, you've in breach of contract of what we actually decided on this thing. You have to now come face to face, have those conversations with people. Yep. And now you are that person who's like, I've graduated, I like my own peace, my own space. But how do you do negotiations? How do you negotiate yourself to like an upper level in your office space, maybe, or job hierarchy? Like everything, it's just how you communicate and interact with people. It's so, so important. Yeah. And that's the only other way that you've said now, sales comes in.
Set of skills.
How do you sell anything, first of all?
Yeah, that's why even you are very good at sales. That's why we came across each other.
Yeah.
Why? You see, you can have a very nice set of gadgets.
Yeah.
You can have the state of the art.
Yeah.
But you see now, if you're not using those gadgets and telling yourself, I don't want anyone to see what... I don't want anyone to see. So you record and then you have a very serious draft.
Yeah.
A folder full of drafts.
Yeah.
So you roll the camera. The beauty about right now, internet is everything. For me, I say I'm a kid of the internet because since 2000, I remember even when YouTube began.
Yeah.
I was among the first subscribers. YouTube used to give you a notification of which number you are when it started. Mm-hmm. So I was top 50 users in Kenya. I used to teach, I was ambitious. I used to teach Swahili using French. I wanted to teach the Francophone.
What?
Content creation, I began way back.
Yeah.
So, but now, as we were explaining, even...
Yeah, you were saying like just you need to change the system now to at least even include something like sales in the...
And basic terms of a contract.
Yeah.
So that even if you're doing something before the lawyer, you need to know what you are negotiating with.
Yeah.
So, as you said, skill set is everything. While in campus, I never had an opportunity to mingle with so many people because I was already in a different timeline. It was like an apocalypse now, So the guys are coming from high school, and for me, I've been in the industry 7 years. Yeah. So I used to find that we are not in the same level because
Yeah.
for me, I'm looking at I need to do my French translation. I need to do this. I need to sort my siblings. There's a different trajectory.
Your responsibilities are just way too different.
Right now, if you're in campus and you're doing some content creation, that's something. So instead of wasting time and chatting,
Yeah.
you can be able to find, okay, if you love traveling, use it and create content.
Just create. I'm always telling people, just hit that record button. And like also another thing that I also came to realize, it's so unfortunate because like online at times if you're an internet person, you will see so many people with potential.
Yeah.
It's like, man, if this person just does this and this, it can be such a... But at the end of it all, I also just came to understand like the vision that you have for even somebody else, you can't instill it in them.
Yes.
It's up to them. Like, yes, you can see they have potential, but what if they already don't see, like, whatever you're seeing, they can't see it. So there's nothing much you can do. You can just say, like, I appreciate you from a distance, can give you a like, watch your video.
Yeah.
But if you're consistent, I can see you being a great person.
True.
If not, we all know this is not going anywhere.
I'll tell you, the power of internet is very strong. I remember I was doing, it's an issue of people don't know how to value themselves. For me, I'll say people don't know how to value themselves because you'll find someone doing a training or creating a masterclass, devaluing it at all and saying, I was in a certain farmers forum and then guys were saying the training is 1,000, including meals. And then I'm wondering.
Including meals?
Then I'm wondering.
Including meals?
Yeah. Then they're very happy. You see, it's a club. Huh? For me, it says exclusivity.
Just create some value. Let somebody feel special even when they raise kidogo of cash to come there.
I'll tell you why. Even lawyers, even you.
Yeah.
If I underbill you,
when
you're out partying and meeting, while in your Paris trips, you'll be so happy to explain that how expensive my lawyer is in terms of I pay my lawyer this several dollars.
This is a retainer. Retainer.
It gives you some pedestal point that you are a serious businessman.
True.
So that's how now the set of skills were the ones that are able to roll me in law school. Then now I happen to get into now the legal profession. So I did my law school and then Kenya School of Law. So still hustling hard.
I hear Konza KSL.
KSL.
Listen, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
yes.
I have to interject here and don't forget your chain of thought.
Oh, yes.
You know how many people I know who started doing law and then they get to KSL and then they're just like, no. Or failed repeatedly. It was even in the news when they were saying like, I think they are actually failing people intentionally so that people can pay school fees again and keep coming back and back. There are 2 people who committed suicide because they kept on being failed. And then now the parents are like, we've sold everything. Supposed to be the lawyer of the Nini. The guy went and took his life.
Yeah.
It was in the news. So unfortunate, but I hear it's like the toughest like section to like actually cross.
I'll say, as you said, strategy. So if you're passionate to get into law, then of course you'll do anything to be able to get in. But unfortunate bit is I had even a friend of mine, a classmate, who the angle you're saying of taking their lives. So it's an issue of a parent mindset. So if the kid does not want law, don't force it. Don't force it because you see, for me, no matter what, I remember even in law school, I just happened to get into the library once. But then I was even doing tours and travel. So I've done almost everything,
Listen, we can't even start diverging again because
we are not diverging.
You have but that's what I'm saying. You see, when I talk about the drive you have, it's because of circumstances that you underwent at a slightly younger age. So, and even I'm always saying, like in the room, when you're in a room as a group of friends, when you're trying to talk about something and then you're seeing like, how comes these people are not understanding what I'm saying or it doesn't make any sense to them? It's because whatever is driving you and this person are completely different. Somebody who's maybe been babied a bit here and there, like, something goes wrong, I know I can just run back to mom, dad, or nini, and they'll always make the pain go away, the trouble go away. That person, there is no way you can describe anything to them and they'll have the same focus, attention, or just drive as you. It's unfortunate, but they just can't. You can't compete with such a person.
Yeah.
When this person is in the room, they're like, yo, 10 years from now, I want to be here. This is what I wanted to achieve. From this meeting to I just want to achieve this.
Yeah.
The other person is just chilling. So it's not the same. So I understand when all these things that,
interconnecting.
Yeah, interconnecting.
So so that's why I say
you said like your friend was in a similar situation.
I think the parents were more forcing him. I could see it in law school.
Yeah.
So the guy was not happy doing what he was doing. So and it's sort of like forced. So when the guy got admitted, then the guy took his life. He got admitted. It's like, yo, I gave you wanted this paper. I wanted admission. Yeah, I'm admitted. And the guy pressed the eject button, changed residence to heaven.
After he's qualified?
Yes. So it was an issue, I think. You see, as parents never know that sometimes you inculcate certain hatred in a kid.
Yeah.
That's why, you see, if someone loves something, that's what I was saying, if a kid loves playing with the soil,
let them play.
That is a farmer.
Let them play.
Let them play, then they'll come to realize, so long as you're just observing so that they don't feed on it to cause chaos.
Yeah, of course.
Supervision.
Don't hurt themselves. You just watch.
Everything requires
where their interest is and build it.
Build it, yes. So you see a kid, you get a kid with a spoon and he's singing Rihanna. Yeah? That's an artist there.
True.
And you see the beauty about art is that no one asks you about a degree.
Yeah.
Art speaks for itself.
Yep.
So that's how now I happen to get in now into admission. Then I had to slash some things off my table so that I concentrate on law. Yeah. So like the web design part now, it's a skill that I still have, but I was not rendering the services by then.
Yeah.
So I had to concentrate on law. I did my pupillage there in government. And then later on, I was retained. So we were 500 guys applying in that application for 50 positions of pupillage. So gracious enough, I happened to be again number one on that list.
Number one?
Not knowing anyone. The guys sometimes they say, oh, kuingia serikali connections. For me, I didn't have that dad to call. Huh? So, but I had God the Father.
Yeah.
So I knew that books are the only remedy.
Yeah. So you either have to be like the very best,
yes,
or anywhere in between is just not going to work.
Strategic.
Yeah,
you must be strategically smart.
True.
So that you know what you really want in life. So that's now. That was before COVID. There's a time I went. I just took some 5 to 10 goats in the village, and then I said, "Wait a minute." There was once a time I was a very serious breeder of dogs and goats and sheep. So then I said, let me just get in case some friends want to come bonfire. You know, me, I'm from tourism now. I wanted to have that ideal bonfire whereby guys can come. We are doing some horse riding, just revolving around the farm to another small. We call it in Latin. We call it sanctum, a very quiet place with a bonfire. Some birds chirping in the background. You see that ideal story of that, the way we used to write in composition writing. It's a chilly morning and all those things.
Yeah.
So that's now how I just threw some few goats there. Then I went back to my law profession. Then 1 year later, I could see I come and then I see they have added. There's some continuation of them. I'm saying, wow.
Okay, this is interesting. Yeah.
So when I come with my guys,
when
I come with my guys, you know, the village experience must be village experience.
Of course.
Yeah, you can always have a 5-star experience at the village, but in its own way, old school way.
True.
So that's how now. There was one good day. Now, once I left law school, I had to do private practice.
Yeah.
One good day is there's a client who had registered for him a company. Then the guy came. He had a lawsuit concerning breach of contract now.
Yeah.
I
was just saying it. Because if you do business, you'll come to realize it. And don't forget your chain of thought again.
Yes,
thought again.
Yes.
It's just because if you're conducting any kind of business, if you've just been in business, especially like, let's say, private entity, you will have to deal with so many people who they really don't care.
Yeah.
They really don't care. If you are even an entrepreneur, you've done biashara here and there, you bump into people who really do not care. Like even somebody who owes you money and they'll be like, so what do? I don't have the money.
Do what you want.
Yeah, you do what you want.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, you can finish school and everything.
Yeah.
School doesn't teach you how to deal with such things. Because if somebody tells you that, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
And remember, he has more money than you.
He has more money than you. Plus, even getting to him, first of all, those people who you go, it's like a secretary and then another secretary. And then he can just check hivi kidogo and tell him I'm not there. Tell him I'm not there. And then you have to go and come back after. And this is just one incident, but there are so many other situations that you have to deal with that are not taught on paper.
Yeah.
Whether on theory, like reading and everything, but the conflicts now that you have to deal with as an entrepreneur. Yeah, we see even Elon Musk's dealing with them, suing SEC suing in Facebook, suing this person. Oh, you guys stole the idea from us. Yeah. You guys stole this from us. Yes. All those things are not taught, but you have to deal with them because, one, they can actually completely shut down your business. Completely. Clean. Your source of living, people who are depending on you, they can shut it down within 1 day.
True.
And you'll stay probably in debt because now you're supposed to pay legal fees kwanza for this other person who's won the case. Yeah. So, but anyway.
We'll take you to bankruptcy division at the register.
File for bankruptcy. Now you'll be the one who's like, by the way, I don't have the money. I don't have the money.
Things are thick, man.
But no, you know what? Just go on with, where you are.
The client came and then on checking the client, he was dealing with export business.
Yeah.
So he used to export meat and they had like a casual handshake agreement. So there's no paperwork. So along the way, it was an issue of credit and debit. I credit you some for cash. You give me certain kgs of meat. Mm-hmm. So that's now how they. It was just a basic thing of account reconciliation.
Yeah.
But my client being a foreigner and this other guy being a Kenyan, they tried to use police, as in like trying to intimidate my client, not knowing my client as a good lawyer.
Yeah.
A lawyer is a businessman, so he has business strategy. So that's how now I ventured in, and I happened to handle his account, and his account had just been unilaterally frozen without following the right procedure. Or I can say they did it, yes, but the bank on their side, there's the right to information. So they didn't inform my client the reasons why they had frozen their account.
Can't just wake up in the morning and freeze someone's account,
for a serious businessman.
Yeah.
He has
someone who's paying taxes in your country.
He was almost being sued by the other partners because he had not been able to do some transactions. So, but anyway, I handled it and then I asked myself, after reviewing the file, gotten the orders and everything, then I say, wait a minute. So who is more important between the two of us? Because for me, of course, I'll raise my legal fees. But now, I that afternoon, I sat down. I even locked the office. Then I decided to do some serious meditation. I looked at those law books and how many books I've covered. If it is Companies Act, 1,700 pages. If it is insolvency, almost 2,000 pages. That's one area of law, corporate commercial. Yeah. Then there's the criminal law. There's the penal code. So then I look at it. Wait. The lawyer requires the businessman.
Yeah.
And the businessman requires the lawyer.
Yeah.
So then, even the businessman now was dealing with meat. So it means, again, the businessman, I tried to follow the train of thought and realize that everything revolves around the food. So food made this guy a businessman. The businessman now came to the lawyer because he has a problem.
Yeah.
He came to me once. He has never come back. So
you solve his problem completely.
So now I told myself, then it means I have to do this goat business.
Yeah.
I used to be a serious farmer. What happened?
Yeah.
Then I told myself, had I continued with the same velocity I had when I was a kid,
yeah, where would you have been now?
My friend, I think I'll be the guy who we are negotiating on the debit and credit.
Yeah. That would have been you now.
With another lawyer.
Yeah, of course.
But now for me, when I was in law school, I was asked, let me just do a little bit pegging on it. When everyone was being asked, why did you study law? an entire class. Everyone, I want to get money. Another, no, my mother told me. My sister is a lawyer.
Yeah.
Then I was the last guy sitting at the extreme end of the entrance. Why? I want to finish the class and go to do business. I'm not there to stay. So I want, when is the lecturer finishing? So I told the lecturer, I studied law to protect my investments. Everyone laughed. Then even the lecturer, which investments do you have? They say, I'm a graphic designer. I'm a website designer. I'm a certified French translator. Man, that's how I landed my first gig in campus. The lecturer gave me 1 gig of web design.
But you see, that's the craziest part, because just from that one interaction, which probably took like 30 seconds of you expressing like pitching and explaining like why. Because when everybody else is laughing, like, yo, once you finish all these things, even if you get certified or whatever you go and put out as in, so yes, you'll make money, but won't you invest that money? That's where like now even financial literacy comes in again. And even those are some of the things we don't even want to start touching on that, because now that's a topic that always just gets me excited once I start talking about another segment. And that will be another segment. But when you're talking about protecting your investment, that's what we're talking about with things that actually control like world economies.
Yes.
When you're saying like, I never used to be that person who used to like watching business news. Like when you start seeing the graphs up IV, like stocks going up and down, like you even see on that background there.
I saw some serious things.
No, it has to be there, because I just have to know like what's going on. Because at the end of it, once you realize how the world actually works and how numbers work, something ingrains itself in your brain and you're like, I just want to be part of this process. Whether it's internationally, nationally, when people are talking about government bonds on it, I'm like, oh, okay, so our government is giving out this percentage. How is it going to sustain itself in the next couple of years? What if the president changes to a different person? Does this affect this and this? Because we keep saying that, you can be ignorant and say like, I don't care. Yeah. But Sana, when cost of living starts going up, when the dollar rate starts going up, everything else goes up. And then now you're going to buy the same thing that you used to buy. You're like, Atini, how much? Like, it's because you ignored like the basic foundation of all these things that are actually affecting your life. But anyway, back to...
For me, I say, if you don't care, then you'll be scared.
Don't worry,
You'll be scared.
It will be a tough lesson ahead.
So I like the concept of the statement of the numbers.
Yeah.
It always happens. So I'll suggest a reading of, it's called The Knack, Smart Entrepreneurs by Noam Brodsky. So this guy is a lawyer who left and became an accountant. He's a serious entrepreneur guy in America. The Forbes guys is among them. So you see, for you to even make it, you must have a set of skills. You see, even him, despite being on Forbes, what made him there is the law and the accounting. So for him, he has an expression: follow the numbers. Follow the numbers.
Important. Very important.
So for me now, that afternoon I relaxed and said, wow, if this guy is just doing goats and he's having this...
I don't know where you landed your first gig.
Oh, the lecturer. Yeah, so
law school, and then now we're coming back to... Because we have to go back to goat, by the way.
That's why I'm taking
it back
to goat.
Okay, let's go.
So the lecturer, it was a gig.
Yeah.
And then now, that was how I survived.
Oh, now it starts giving you...
Every classmate of mine knew I used to do web design, French. It is marketing. It is free marketing. Why?
Yeah.
You can imagine a class of around 25, 30, 40, Good. 60 people.
Good.
How many are those? And I used to have a business card, managing director, without an office. Because it was a virtual office.
Yeah.
So now I decided to ask myself, so if this meat industry, so how do I go in? I can still maintain my legal job, law job. Okay, all jobs are legal, so it's my law job.
Yeah.
So that's now how I did my research. I did my background check and decided, and I said, I don't think I'll be able to do I want to have exotic breed.
I've actually forgotten about the t-shirt as well, but go on, I'm listening.
So
I'm multitasking. They brought some nice merchandise here. First person who's brought me merchandise, by the way.
So that one is a goat, and then it's at the heart.
In fact, I should put this on as we are. Yeah, yes. But just go on with your Nini, because I have to take off my headphones.
Okay. So I had to check South Africa, because South Africa had the best. When I Google and realized there are only 3 good breeds. Boer, the one you usually see and admire. Then you have the Savanna. Like this one is a Boer on that T-shirt. So we have the Boer. Sorry. The
Boer, Savanna.
Boer, Savanna, and red Kalahari. So those are more of meat goats. Yeah. So then I told myself, if there's an opportunity...
So I didn't promote your business. I brought that guy a T-shirt. He's not even wearing it.
No. We are brothers before business. So that's now how I happen to do now my first research on knowing who is a good breeder in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I told myself that I'll do 2 sides. I'll have the local ones, and then I do some science. Some of us, we studied biology in high school, and we have never tested it. So for me, I decided I was very good at biology. I was in fact supposed to be in med school. I was in med school 2 weeks, and then I left. Anyway, so
you see now, when you mention something, I'm like, should I ask? No.
We'll pick it up.
No, we'll pick it up. Yeah.
Now that's now how I got in. I brought in some 3 stud animals. They are very expensive to bring in because in Kenya, that's why
them from
South Africa.
Okay.
So they had to come via plane. By then, myself, I have not been to South Africa, so the animals, at least, they assist me. They travel on my behalf.
Yeah.
They came as air freight. So that's how I've been doing the. It's more passion.
When you say expensive, we like talking about numbers here, because if you've been like a dog breeder, like even how bringing in puppies at times, there are those puppies that come in there, 300,000, some are like 500, some 200K. Or when you're talking about such bringing like, do you call it a stud? What do you call it?
Yes.
Yeah, when you bring like a stud now from like South Africa.
I see you know these things.
Yeah, a bit of it. So how much does it like cost? A good one, like
a good one. A stud registered one ranges between $1,400 to $1,600 one goat. So it requires financial muscles.
You see, that's why it's very important, I think, at times. Because, like, even for me, when I started following you, I was like, I just need to understand, like, what's going on. Because I also have a friend, and he knows himself by there. He was interested in starting goat business.
Yes.
But I was asking him, like, but have you done research? Because me, I'm always that kind of person. It's like, just do some background check, first of all, so that if it's just putting goats, because he was saying, and I'm sorry, because you're my friend, you understand this is coming from a good place. But even after a while, he told me like, by then, now that I think about it, it's good I didn't proceed because I didn't know exactly what I was doing. But you can put them somewhere and not get the results that you're expecting. At projection, it's not like rabbits, because rabbits, you can put them in like a small place. They'll just multiply.
Yeah.
Goats, I think it's a bit more sensitive.
It's tricky because I had a serious heartbreak, because the same I brought them and then they died after 4 months.
And I wanted to ask that, by the way. It's even in my questions. In my questions, it's like...
So I've attacked you before you attacked.
Because like, where is it? I was asking about like, I know managing livestock health is crucial. How do you ensure the well-being of the animals and prevent, number 4, and prevent diseases? What measures do you take to maintain their health?
I'm a compliance guy, so I could smell you'll ask it. So
before even, it's just there already, and you say like, you got your heartbreak. Yes. So what happened?
So that's why in business, there's a wrong mantra that you have to be passionate in any business before you do it.
Yeah.
Now for me, I say you must be able to know how to commercialize it before you do it, because if it is passion, and it's just like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And issues of ex.
Yeah.
So you it makes you not to love her again. So if
true.
So but there are those good exes.
Yeah.
Those who give you a lesson.
Yeah.
And make you do some positive things in life.
True.
So it depends. So but in business it's an issue of strategy. So for me I said anyway, these are animals. I will not give myself an opportunity to mourn an animal that sometimes goes to the plate. Because down the lane, at the end of the day, I'm doing breeding so that I can have an improved genetic, which can be able to get into the market fast, which is tall, from the Isiolo, the Gala goats from Northeastern. I cross it with this one. These ones are short. You will see them. They are short but long.
Yeah.
Long
yeah.
across.
Yeah, I've
so
noticed. By the way.
I was working on the science where we get a genetic which is a carcass weight is faster. Tall kid from tall kid.
Yeah.
From adaptability from the mother because they're in the Kenyan environment. Why? Because I lost the pure one. So I was trying to look at science on seeing how will it be if I cross it.
Yeah.
Then that magic is good. I've never lost.
Again.
I've never lost a crossbreed. And no, I lost another one.
That you had imported?
I had imported. Because now, you see the moment you...
This is where passion comes in now, by the way. Because even when such a thing happens, you're like, okay, that's one incident that has happened, but it shouldn't stop me.
Yeah, for me,
on to the next. Yeah.
Having done the various businesses, French,
yeah.
So I'm someone who decide if I decide
have that backbone.
Tomorrow, if Elon Musk comes at GPO and says,
Yeah.
"Hey, I need some guys to go to the space," I'll be willing
Like,
because
yeah.
they'll need a lawyer, they'll need a guy with set of skills,
True.
which I'll survive.
True.
Because uchumi imekuwa ngumu, but anyway, that's a story for another time. So that's how now I decided to come back. I decided to say, if I sit down and mourn.
Yeah, I'm just checking. We have 30 minutes.
Yeah. If I sit down and mourn, I'll not be able to assist myself. No business has bulletproof strategy.
No.
And if you're dealing with an animal, you must be able to appreciate that just like a human being.
Yeah.
Unasema, this guy, nilikuwa naye jana. This guy, I was with him yesterday, but now it's sad that he has died.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's now I had to sit down and told myself, I'm a risk and compliance guy. So I need to create a risk register for my farm. I must be able to understand why did this animal die.
Yeah.
Then I realized that it's an acclimatization issue. So I had to come with strategy.
Do I have that in my questions? I think I did. I was like
the number 4, I think, is a wide net.
Okay, but go on. No. I'm just checking to confirm.
I decided to come up with an acclimatization program. Self-packaged acclimatization, because the moment I have an incident, then I backtrack and say what went wrong. So this other one, I happen not to have injected anti-stress. So that was the mistake I did.
What's that now? For people who don't know.
Anti-stress is when a goat travels more than 2-3 hours, it has stress, just jet lag.
Yeah.
Jet lag.
Because even with dogs, they start like throwing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's same scenario. So
okay.
That's how now I had to come up with a program. So we have the anti-stress being it's just an antibiotic to be able to get any bacteria that it got. So probably like oxytetracycline or adamycin in goats. So those are the things that are administered that first night, so that in case it had any, even in motion, you might have used a pickup to transfer to transport from one point to another. Yeah. Then that pickup maybe was not, maybe it was from carrying another thing. So it's an issue. It's just a risk management plan that you must have at the farm. So if you're doing something with a commercial sense, you cannot just say they are there, let them eat.
No.
So for those ones now, I realized again and said, I had to plant feeds for them. Why? I realized they have some stomach issues when they come, and I just throw them to the bush.
Yeah.
Because some might have been on zero grazing, then I'm taking them
to a whole
it's like
different,
a baby. I'm taking a baby to a rugby game.
Yeah.
A rugby game instantly.
Yeah.
Like she's still a toddler, but I'm telling her, sevens. Yeah, sevens. You must. I want you to be. So that's how. Because when you Google, for me, I say you can Google, but you can never Google sufficient information. So there's some things hands on deck.
Yeah, with personal experience, and then you just your own self improvement.
Yeah. So for me, despite being a lawyer, when I'm at the farm, I relieve the worker. Why? I need to understand my investment.
Yeah.
So I tell him, and
first of all, it has to be you. You have to be there, kind.
You have to be.
You have to
hands on and feel it.
Yeah.
You have to be there and feel the. That's the same way. The same way soul music takes you to a different world is the same angle. Yeah. So that's how now I came up with a risk management procedure, and that one has really helped me to hack in terms of when guys are crying that goats are dying.
Yeah.
Mine is just an issue of checking my calendar. When is the next vaccination date?
So you make sure they get
There must be one. That's issue of vaccination.
Yeah.
So the vaccination part comes in to assist the immunity, because we are living in a climate change era.
Yeah.
So the traditional old school way of pastoralism,
it cannot just work.
it can't work.
The same way it used to.
Modern pastoralists must embrace vaccination, whether they like it or not. So I'll say there's the angle of taking insurance.
Yeah.
But the best insurance is the vaccination. I saw
Prevent it first before you get to.
Yeah. Sorry. I saw an insurance company that does livestock. I'll not mention the name, but it was saying that kind of disease there, it is negligence of the farmer. Yet it is one.
What?
It is part of the. It's someone selling a product that he does not
So
understand.
how am I even supposed to come and take a cover from you after you tell me that?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the major things that I would be
Interested to do in terms of risk management.
Yeah.
So the best angle I say for guys, if you're on low budget, you can handle vaccinations. So animals, you see, even livestock farming, it is something I like your graphs, but for me, I still stand and say, for me, I still stand and say that livestock, if I do the separation of the word, live and stock.
Oh, okay, I get
It
you.
comes from,
I see what you're doing there.
Even the stock market
Yeah.
came from African angle of livestock. So it's stocks that are alive.
Get you.
The moment you get a kid,
Yeah.
then that is your dividends.
True.
So the moment it dies, then is the Black Friday. So
Yeah.
so it's an issue of the vaccination part. It's an issue of feeds. It's an issue of kid management, and then of course it's an issue of collaborations. For me, my guys are collaboration. We collaborate with them. That's why I told you, whenever I'm at the farm, I give him some time out to go and do some cleaning for he has a time out a little bit.
Yeah, you just go.
He has some leave days.
Do your personal needs and then.
Errands, yes.
Yeah.
So that's how to do it. And then it's an issue of passion again.
Yeah.
Passion is 1%, but you have to really love it.
It has to be there. It
Yeah.
has to
So
be there.
I never knew I have listeners.
Yeah.
You know, I'm living in a strange world. Talking to the screen on now the channel.
GoatMaster. When you post like your videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's why even for me, I think at times people are always asking me like, what is it exactly that you do? Because today you'll see me sharpening knives maybe in the kitchen.
Yeah.
The next day I'm doing like interior. I'm picking different paints and nini.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, how I can explain it for somebody who's like artsy, or if you have like a backbone of art. At times we wake up with different inspirations.
True.
So as long as you have like a structure of maybe something that's bringing in cash and everything,
Yes.
you can literally just wake up in the morning. Tomorrow I could be doing something completely different, but they'll still be tied back to the main thing that I actually love, which is still like now content creation, talking to people and everything. Yeah. But after I'm done with this, I have to go and do something else that, resets my mind, that I'm more like, this is still passionate. Yeah. But let's just say I'm passionate about so many things. The same way you can say, like, when you're doing the tourism thing, it's something that you liked.
Yeah.
Learning French, you are interested and you're just into it, and that's why you grasp everything like. So even by the time you start explaining to someone, you said French, tourism, and nini.
There's a link.
And even a mistake, a very big mistake you'd notice, like even maybe with some other parents or people maybe who are older, they used to maybe to tell you, I don't know whether you were told that, you need to focus on one thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, my mind, the way it's functioning, it just cannot focus on just one thing. I need this and feel how I can connect this with this. The same way we say, like Akina Elon Musk. Yeah. Today you can do cars. Today you in people are going to space. Ranch, there you go.
Mark Zuckerberg himself is doing ranch.
Ranch.
Why? COVID struck.
Exactly.
When COVID strikes, even if you have a nice thing, but you don't have food on the table, you still need. That's why I say.
Yeah.
You need a lawyer once in a while.
Yeah.
You need a doctor once in a while.
Yes.
But you need farmer at least 3 times a day.
No, true. Morning, lunch, and evening. That's true.
So that's why for me I get more respect as a farmer first.
Yeah.
And then as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because a farmer is a present person.
Yeah.
A lawyer is circumstantial and a CV so that people can listen to you.
And I think even when you sent me a message, because to be honest, I always go to, there's a tab for TikTok where you can save something and create a folder.
Yes.
Like there are people who have always saved like podcast guests. Like I'll reach out to them, not now, but I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
So when I got like your DM, I was like, yo, I don't even know how I'm supposed to tell you. Like I was gonna call you anyway. I was going to call you anyway. I was just trying to plan everything. And then now I know this is the guest that's coming, this is coming, this one is coming. Because you'll notice even like with my guests, they are so diverse.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting to talk to people because now you see somebody explaining to them like a breakdown of their life and even now what they're doing like now for a living. And then you're like, oh, okay. Because honestly speaking, if somebody sees like on your page, they wouldn't know you speak French. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Certified. One of the best in the country.
Yeah.
But lawyer background, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But there are people there who are actually now studying law, but even online, they're trying to figure out like who can we reach out to, who can give us a message. But this person you haven't even tried to be like, just think of like, okay, what does this person exactly do?
So I'll tell you something.
Yeah, tell me.
As a lawyer, there are some laws that forbid you from marketing. We have regulations. But you see, personally, that's why I've even created a TikTok. A new one. I had not shown you. It's called Think Compliance Kenya. It's just a new one.
I have a question. Now finish that and then I throw my question in there.
I did 2 podcasts. Yeah. I did 2 posts and I already had 3 DMs of shareholders agreement. I did one. I was just from the farm and then I said, wait, why am I sleeping on my risk and compliance?
Yeah. Because it's still, like we've
because
said.
for me, I was just on leave.
Oh, okay.
I've just left government 3 months ago. I was the risk and compliance officer at the government and the first data protection.
I hope you guys are listening.
And the first data protection. So for the moment, I just do consultancies for data protection, risk and compliance for businesses. I was even in one of the serious hotels. I was checking the Wi-Fi. Then I used my laptop. Then they say open Wi-Fi. Then from the open Wi-Fi, I have to log in. Yeah. So those are the things I check. So for me, free internet is not free because there's somebody else bugging, watching. Yeah. So on checking.
Actually, that friend of mine who wanted to get into the goat business.
Awesome.
Coincidentally, as we are talking about this.
Nice.
But let me just tell him, I'll talk to him later because we start talking, it's just forever.
Yes. So now, the risk and compliance part.
Let me see how much time we have. No, we have time. Time. Listen, with you, I think even if it's pulling out another mem card, we have to continue this conversation because we still have more. Because I don't want time to like narrow us down to this conversation when it's actually very productive and everything.
So the government job is a good job.
Yeah.
But you see now, I realize that for me, I'm not an 8 to 5 guy. I remember you asking me 8 to 5.
I can't.
So the government job was my first 8 to 5. All my life I've been a freelancer.
Yeah.
French translator, freelance.
Yeah.
Lecturer, I was part-time lecturer in French. Yeah. So I've never been in corporate setting, but I told myself, 3 years ago, I smelled, an entrepreneur has a gut feeling.
Yep.
That you wreck a moment and said, in the next 3 years, I'm seeing there'll be a good opportunity in risk and compliance space. And I can tell you, if you go on LinkedIn right now and check, I used to get several DMs from multinationals. Why? If you can't put yourself out there, so you're complaining, I did this job application. Job applications, you'll never get work.
You won't.
However, if you strategize your content and say, hey, I'm in risk and compliance. What can I do? So then I say, there's the carbon regulations that are coming in where they'll be slapping people almost 500,000.
Yep.
Fine. So now,
because I've seen that.
You come on LinkedIn and say this is an interesting space in the global warming setup. Then there are those guys who are looking for somebody who is aware with it. Even
who knows exactly what
you
this
might
means.
Not even know what you are doing, but you just took that regulation and said, and you're passionate with it. So you are every day you are searching.
You can do your research, chap. Because you're useful as long as you can break it down to this person who needs to understand, like, okay, how do I make sure I'm in within there?
Boards don't have a time.
They don't.
Even in the terms when I was drafting the risk and compliance board papers, they want a dashboard. They want something. You see, the moment now you are telling someone, go and read this. No, they want some. They don't have that time. The same way you are saying. These are guys who have time to go and buy a tortoise that is 12 years old.
Yes.
It's some stupid things that make great things.
Yeah, because to them, it's just, their mind is in a very different space.
Like like Mark. You see now, Mark is going to the ranch. He's telling you that the cow will be drinking beer, macadamia and beer.
Yeah.
You see now, those are things that it gives you some. There's an angle of job security, but for me, I say there's nothing like job security, especially in the current times, whereby an employer might not be able to disclose to you his financial statements.
They won't.
So you're working every morning, traffic jam 3 hours.
Yep.
Traffic jams in the evening 3 hours. During the day, you are hopeful and calculating, looking at the calendar and trying to do magic so that it's end month.
Yeah.
However, you reach end month and then things are thick, man.
Yeah.
There's GoatMaster, he has not paid the invoice. There's another guy who has not paid the invoice.
We haven't been paid.
So,
and if it's like 3 big clients who haven't paid, now you guys decide.
For your case, you do your risk analysis yourself.
Yep.
It's 10th now.
Yep.
Let me check my books by yourself.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, it's not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's why I say entrepreneurs are born, they're not created.
That's true.
So because the push you have, today are doing podcast. We don't know. We don't know we don't know your next card.
Yeah.
You have a bigger strategy and say, this is level 1, this is level 2.
And I'm always telling people, like, nobody should ask me, like, yo, if I start a podcast, will I make X amount of money?
Or do you see yourself in 5 years?
No. I'm just like, yo, listen, I'm just like, please.
Live in the moment.
Yeah. Understand and enjoy the process. And I'm always telling people, even if you're broke or you're trying to figure things out, it's about the journey. The journey is what builds you. Like all those little hardships that you're going through here and there, but wake up in the morning and try and do something.
I like that statement.
You have to wake up and try and do something. Yeah. Just try. Because yes, anytime we see like, oh, the government is not in it, the government is like, but we already know the government has like so many other issues to deal with. And also you still have to remember the economic situation is not just in our country.
It's a global thing.
It's a global thing. So don't start expecting the president to solve all your personal issues. I can't afford this today. I can't afford this. He knows, but there's really nothing much he can do. It's global. Even if you fly to another country, same situation.
So for me, I'll say, even the president needs help.
Yes.
He needs help in this way. You can imagine all the subjects, the people under him, if you use the old school terminologies of subjects.
Yeah.
So you realize that one tree cannot make a forest. The president is not a stone.
Yep.
So if you come up with a community of even young guys, you see, even content creation, some of these gadgets, we should not even be paying VAT. We should be exempted and given Wi-Fi. So that we can push content and we will not even want rent.
That's not going to happen though.
Of course, it will not happen, yes.
but it would be nice.
But you see, even in Tanzania, on animals, it's on farming, it's tax exempted.
Oh, there's no tax?
Tax exempted in terms of for production purposes, for food security aspects.
Oh, yeah, because that's why now, like even in Kenya, they said if you have like livestock at the back of your house, now you have to start paying
the 5%
taxes. Yeah.
So, but you see,
I get what you're saying.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
Now, because there's a bigger market and government can be able to tap in at the export point, at the butcher point. There are other
avenues they can,
access,
honestly. Yeah.
Because making that animal survive is it's quite dangerous investment.
There are some uncertainties, especially when you're dealing with this living and breathing nini. Because if you're talking about rice that you can put somewhere, put like a little bit of like whatever chemical, and then it stays forever, you're just in sacks. Yeah. Animals are not like that. You have to come and see.
And check.
Is it like walking the right way today?
Yeah.
Is it growing to the best length that it's supposed to be like? There's something looks a little bit off. If one is sick, will it infect the other ones? It's just like a one-off disease for that one that's weak. So all those uncertainties. Imagine you're waking up in the morning and you're not aware of these things that can happen.
Yeah.
You can go for a weekend trip. You come back on Monday. Everything is just slipping up with you.
It's possible.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was an amateur. I had 70 goats.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
What happened?
Stocking. Stocking is usually, now that's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
The greatest risk in farming is at the stocking stage.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying the goats from someone who is not vaccinating, does not have those risk management, Unfortunate is there needs to be a serious government initiative towards the northern side of Kenya, because that's where the Gala goats.
They come
Gala goats are like the heartbeat of Kenya because they're the ones which grow faster than the local East African goats.
Are they like the ones that? And I'll let you get back to that. Like, what's the most common breed like? Because like even for me, I really love goat meat. By the way,
Yeah.
I do. If there's meat that I have come to like say like, yeah, this I like, it's goat meat.
Yeah.
What's like the best breeds come from there? I'm a sweetest breed because me, I'm talking like a consumer.
Yes,
I'm not a breeder, so I would say like which one tastes better? Which ones? Where do they come from?
Okay, so the current ones consumption,
Yeah.
the ones that taste better are the ones which are on free range. Those ones feeding on shrubs. Has some connections towards there. So, but now the breed.
But where from?
The breed is now those ones which are called Gala goats, Isiolo goats, or Borana goats. They are the ones from northern side of Kenya. So the other side is just the issue of feeds is a challenge, but we're having some modern pastoralists. These days they are trying to come up with ways of either buying the feeds or planting.
So, but in northern
side
northern eastern,
from
let's say,
Somalia and northern side of Kenya.
But is there like when you're talking about those ones, like they just walk around and eat like the fresh herbs and everything?
Yes, the free range ones.
Also, those are
The
that's
best one,
why
the
they
shrubs.
actually.
You feel the shrubs.
Yeah.
Because you see, they even assist you to do like repopulation of whatever they are fed. That's why goat manure is another serious value addition. When you use it in your farming, especially the spinach, it gives you that authentic, organic taste.
Makes
so that's why
sense.
when you're having a goat, it's not an issue of just the meat.
Yeah.
There is the milk. There is the manure.
Actually true.
That's why when you have rabbits, now they come in to assist in controlling of the weeds. The urine from, you see, it's more of a mixed farming setup. But now, that's why the Boer has tender meat. The South African one has tender than the Gala. But the challenge you're having...
It has tender and better tasting or just tender?
Tender and better tasting than...
Really?
Than the Gala. But now, you see the challenge is with that price to import.
Yeah.
You cannot put it on the table and feed it. You use it for
breeding.
Yeah,
that one. We're not eating that one. By the way.
You use it for breeding.
Yeah.
Then now you can have your ROI.
Return on
investment from the crossbreed, because the meat market requires 6 to 9 kgs for export.
Okay.
The carcass weight. So to get the carcass weight mostly is roughly around half. If it's 30 kgs live weight while alive, the carcass weight is almost half of it.
Okay, and also something else that I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
I think I'll switch up the milk card, but also something I want to ask you. So how, when you're breeding, like, because now, can I ask about numbers that you have now? Ama, you don't want to touch on that? We don't have to. How many, like, on a normal, like, whatever you've done, like, already. We don't want to touch on personals. I can see already smiling. It's like, but, okay, as you're scaling up, right? Because you start small and then the numbers start growing and everything. Because I think that's like the whole ideal purpose of the business anyway. You start scaling up, How do you get like your market now? Like how do you distribute like once the goats after breeding, they've grown and everything. At what point now do you decide to sell or let them go, if that's how you can call it, or if it's exporting, like at what point, and how do you get the market to where you're sending the goods to?
Okay.
Yeah.
So with TikTok is a fabulous market. I get even inquiries from 60 years old in Nigeria. Sheesh. There was one guy who inboxed me 2 weeks ago and told me, my brother, I don't know if you speak Hausa, but I'm starting small. I watch your channel and it gives me motivation. If I can do this, I know I don't have money to pay even consultants, but if I do this, I beg. You will call your boys. You know
how they talk. Yeah, I know.
So like, it's something which the market is there.
Yeah.
Because you realize, as I told you, a farmer is required thrice per day.
True.
So the market is never a problem, but the challenge is now the production part. You see, I get even inboxes from Dubai, guys asking 1,500 goats per week. You see,
because actually, by the way, I've just realized, like
1,500.
But in those sections, those people consume so much goat
UAE,
meat. So much. Goat meat is like the in, because like in their biryani and everything.
Soft,
the
tenderness.
Yes, they have that with like almost every meal.
Yes.
That's true.
And you know, even in Saudi, they have some annual allowance they're just given. By just being a Saudi nationals, there's some annual, there's some monthly allowance.
Oof.
So Gala will not be a problem.
That won't be actually, that's very true.
Yeah, so
that's very true. Yeah,
that's why now, in terms of breeding, you have a goat holds pregnancy for 5 months. So after 5 months, then we have the 3 months. The 3 months is now the weaning stage.
Yeah.
The weaning stage meaning it can now be able to survive on its own. I don't advise selling a goat at below 3 months because they need to bond with the mother. It needs to be able to feed well and also reduction of stress. So once after 3 months, in between there's the crib feeding. Goat at 2 weeks, goat can eat, can start nibbling on feeds.
Yeah.
So at that stage,
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
What?
Even sheep, at 2 weeks they start nibbling.
Yeah.
So once they start nibbling, then you're supposed to make them busy. You see, some farmers they just close them, they play with the dirt.
Yeah.
They don't have an opportunity to feed. So you're supposed to create a small thing and put some grass in it so that they nibble.
Yeah.
Well,
at least they just kind of like
it assists to grow.
Yeah.
You can imagine a goat left in the morning until in the evening to be able to suckle a mother.
Yeah.
It's even you'll be very hungry.
Exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why now, once it's from 3 months, a person who is breeding can even take from 3 months or 5 months. But 5 months is more ideal. For meat market, I told you 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
6 to 9 kgs is what is required as the carcass weight. However, a Gala goat will not be able to fetch that weight very fast. That's where the Boer comes in. If you cross the Boer with the Gala, it gives you a kid who was 3.5 kgs.
Already.
Yes. 3.5 at birth.
Yeah.
In 30 days, it will be around 8.5 to 8.9 kgs. You see?
Okay,
now
that's
when you're doing science, you're doing science that you can get to the market as soon as possible. A Gala goat, you'll have to wait around 9 months. This one within 5 months,
it's already
you are ready for the
you
meat.
have the weight
You
and
have
it's
the-
already like, look, it's ready for like now if it's export or selling or putting it out on the market.
That's why someone usually asks,
Yeah.
why that expensive?
No, okay, now we have, because when you say that, we have to touch now on the numbers. So hold that thought. Just hold that thought. Just
Okay.
1 minute. Hold that thought. Guys, so we had to take a small break, but we're back. Just refreshing up, Nini. But let's get back to the conversation, what we were talking about. We're talking about why they're expensive.
Why they're expensive?
Yeah, and I said I like talking about numbers, but if you can't mention the numbers, I wouldn't want it to affect like your market.
Yeah.
Things are changing. Dollar rate is changing.
Yes.
You might say up a specific price, and then someone's like, but you said on the other podcast that we had that this was the
This
price.
figure, yes.
Yeah. So, but let's just talk in general about figures or why they're expensive.
Yeah. So
if we can just tap into details of
details. Okay, so they're expensive because because of genetics. So for the Boer, Savanna, and Red Kalahari, those ones mature faster. Within once they're from 7 months, they can be served. Even 6 months, but you at least wait for a certain good age of around 35 when they are live kg 35, so that you can breed. Because the moment you breed them while they're very young,
Yeah.
it affects their growth. Then they are short put, so you can imagine a short put, and then now on top of it, pregnancy, it will kill it.
Yeah.
I think that is what
Can't even carry its own
it
weight,
can't
probably,
carry
yeah?
to the yes. So you must have fed it to a certain age, at least from 7, 8. For the Boer one,
Yeah.
it's possible. So for the local East African goat, our kienyeji, that one it will take you around like 2 years for it to mature to be able to be served. So you can imagine now. Look at the return on investment of the local kienyeji. Local kienyeji is not bad. So it depends with your budget. If your budget is not that big, you can just get the local kienyeji, which are bigger body frames, and they're 2 years or 2.5.
Yeah.
You start with what you have. Sometimes you see something fancy.
You don't have to,
You
go
say,
all the
this
way.
guy is doing it.
True.
The same way like a goat house. Mine was a chicken house. You remember I told you I just started some few ones, and then I told this guy, when it rains, ingiza tu hapo kwa kuku, just throw them there, because you see now I don't have the finances, and the chicken project had fallen. We had done some serious consumption, so
I know, I get you.
So but as an entrepreneur, every challenge is an opportunity. So if the chicken is not there, then something can use that structure in the meantime.
True.
So it was an enclosed, it was not even an ideal chicken house, chicken coop, but we used it. So when we came to realize 1 week later, once the goats are on full tank, then they stretch the structure. So we had to remove the iron sheets which were beside, so that we just have a roof alone.
A roof, at least they basic. Even if it's cashade,
they hug each other.
They
hug each other when it's raining.
And after a while, they know. They just go.
This
know
is
how shelter. They go.
Goats are very bright guys.
Yep.
You can imagine. I have several structures, but they know who sleeps where and who sleeps.
Yeah,
that's why a sheep has a challenge.
Sheep is a bit different.
Goat, I think goat. That's why they say greatest of all time.
Yeah. True. Okay. Yeah.
So now that's how someone does a scale up. Scalability means the same way you had explained earlier. You must have a strategy of what you are doing.
Yeah.
So you might want even the greatest. You might think you have the greatest business idea, but if you cannot start with the little you have, then it becomes a problem. That's why fancifulness. For me, that's the message I usually preach on my channel
and platforms.
And platforms. Why? I say, don't try to say that this guy has money.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's about the push.
Yeah.
The push in the sense that I say, the same way you're saying about, let's say, if someone wants 200, 300, 400 stock.
Yeah.
I say that, for instance, guys call me, and these guys are very happy that they have landed a very serious export opportunity. Guys is very happy and say, hi, I've gotten this business. I'm looking at 300. Can you be able to be supplying 300 goats per day? Then you say, yo, do you know how much it takes to be able to sustain a business of 300 goats per day?
Yeah.
Then it means you must be having so many, not even 10,000, above 10,000.
Yeah.
And goats are not like rabbits that 30 days they have some procreation. It takes 5 months.
And even when somebody's asking you such a question, that's why at times you have to know, like, okay, this is somebody I can deal with, or this person doesn't know what they're talking about. Because, like, clearly you don't have any experience doing this when you're asking me such a question. Because, like, do you know what that actually entails? So, are you just...
They don't know. You see, people see incubator. Then they think even goats have incubators. But you see, now it has a period. There's abortion. There's some slight abortion. The baby might be too big for the mother. So there are so many things. So for me, I say, you grow your stock. Even me, while I was in government, while at work, I used to project and say, I have these 10 goats. Now, end month, I have to save, because you can never get an investor for your business. I always tell people you can never get an investor. Because if both of you are coming and no one has skill set and the other one, if you don't have skill set, then the other one has finances. How are you helping each other?
If anything goes wrong,
who's the person with hands on deck experience? No one. Both of you are saying, like, I have calculated.
I have an idea.
I have a best idea, and no one is doing it. You see, they always say no one is doing it, and they keep it to themselves and say, no one is doing. My friend, there's some guys you are thinking of an idea, they are creating an app as you speak.
Yeah, they are already on point with everything, and they've been doing it probably for a while.
They know.
So the least you can do is at least go learn from them.
Yeah.
Don't just say you have an idea. Go see, ask about even like hardships, and even that would take me to the next question. Like, what are would you say like what are the big challenges, like even just for you that you had to tackle? And also, as you're answering some of the questions that I asked, because I know you have like a masterclass coming.
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't want to give everything away that people are supposed to be paying for as well.
No, I always say,
right?
Anything that is free, died during the days of manna in the Bible.
Okay. There you go. So I also have to be considerate because you're also teaching people. There's also consultancy. Yeah. So whatever you can give us as information, you give us. Whatever they can't, they have to reach out as well. Because even for me, I'm always at times telling people, when you ask me too many questions, I'm like, I have a consultancy. Just slide in the DM and then you talk.
Oh, it's true.
No. So let's not forget about that as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
some of the challenges.
Challenges. One, stocking challenges. There's you might be so impressed with the internet and just search, and you see someone saying, "I'm selling my goats," but this guy does not have even a single farm. You don't have that trust. You have not seen this guy doing it. So the only thing for you to see a guy who is a broker, he only posts the goats, the cow, but you have never followed in his farm and see what farm management practices does this guy do. For me, fortunately, I even share with my people of what I'm doing. I get calls. There's a guy who was losing 5 goats every week, 5 goats. Then he told me, I've been watching what you're doing and your explanations and your guidance when I reached out. And right now, I have not lost a single goat. And then I say, wow, sometimes I think people are not listening, but I have some good students.
Yeah.
There's another guy in Botswana. You see the way we talk to you, we talk together and say, nice.
Yeah.
Great content.
Just casually.
One day I woke up
and
then I saw this guy has 400 goats. He was saying 300 are pregnant.
300?
I had to reach out and say, bro, good job. Then he said, my brother, you're the one who inspired me.
What?
Botswana, I'm Zungu.
What?
So that's why I say the first challenge is stocking.
Yeah.
So stocking means you must be able to understand what are the bare. It's like standard operating procedures when you are doing new stock. So that's where the problem begins. I remember I tried to be a good businessman and brought in some good goats from Northeastern. You know, Northeastern, they don't do serious vaccination schedules. You ask someone, there's no paperwork. That's why for me...
Yeah, for them, they're just like, us, they tembea, they eat whatever is there.
Yeah. For me,
to sell, we sell.
Yeah, risk and compliance. I say, I don't invest in anything that I don't know.
Yeah.
I put controls. That's what now risk management comes in. So the stocking part, someone must be able to know what is the procedure. Like anti-stress, the way I told you, then now is an issue of there are certain diseases because it's changing diet. So you need to vaccinate against now overfeeding disease. Because now I realized my mistake was I took someone from a place there's no food. Then I took those goats to a 5 meal course.
Get a stomach.
So
the stomach will be confused, man. Even you as a human being, you know what happens.
I was very happy and I wanted to roll the camera that day and for content creation.
Yeah.
And I found 60 goats down. So you had to hold them to stand. So that's now when the beauty about it is for me, I usually do risk management. I have
60 like they've gone, they're dead, or 60 that
lying,
like they're weak and it's like something has affected them.
Yesterday they were sort of like playing reggae.
And then all of them.
Yesterday they were playing reggae, headbutts. You know, headbutts is a sign of
they're
a goat that is satisfied. You know, when a goat is satisfied, it speaks. You say, So it's like a kid. You know, the kid, the way he's playing with the mom. He's like, So for them, they also have that sound. When they are full term, they give like,
They're just chilling.
Fighting,
they're just
chilling. They're just chilling. So they're like, my guy,
this is good.
This is it, man. Then I had to drop my camera because it fell. My phone fell because I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why are they not standing? And then I said, now this is it. I had done my calculator. I've done my computation and seen if this guy gets to 5 months, I'm calculating times 2. I'll be somewhere. Woe unto me.
Yeah.
So I had to call the vet and we had to troubleshoot with the vet. It was, in terms of my goat farming, that is the craziest month ever. Because you see the antibiotics, they usually come in small doses. 800 shillings, 900. So you can imagine you inject several of them. It is a night that even at night it was problematic.
It's nightmare because even if after giving them you're like, if the medication is too strong and then kwanza now because they're weak and then because animals,
I text them.
Yeah.
So then that's where now the prayer comes in. As a farmer,
you're just praying. You're like,
as a farmer, you do what you can do.
Yeah.
Then you pray to the Lord and you say there's some. I had some mother stock in the farm, mine. No, none of mine was sick. Why? They were already vaccinated.
Yeah.
Now this new one.
Yeah.
Problems after problems, but we managed with the consultation of the vet. We happened to lose around 14 of them.
Yeah.
Now, you don't become a master just because being a master.
No, true.
It's an art.
True.
And through that, we take a lesson, and we had to do a farm risk register where now we said what went wrong, how do we avoid it.
It shouldn't happen again.
Since then, it has never happened.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then now let's talk about maybe something like even just getting like space to put like the goats. Because like you said, you start small, but they are multiplying as well. Yeah. You get a stud here, it comes, and then your numbers keep growing. So how do you even handle things like picking a location, making sure, like, of course, the higher the number, making sure the weather is right for them, and just making sure they are intact as well.
It appears you really know this thing.
Yeah? No. I mean, just paying attention. You know, like even for me, even when I'm not doing something, I'm always paying so much attention.
Yeah.
I remember there's an ex of mine who used to tell me, like, unajifanya, like, you know everything. Yeah. I was like, no, by the legit, I'm just curious about everything. When somebody's telling me, like, they're a doctor, I'm like, you
have to listen.
So, like, in Husi, you handle blood, how does that feel, by the way? I mean, dealing with people crying today, Kesho, somebody's recovering, another one is coming to give birth, another one is coming with, like, maybe even if it's cancer. Yeah. But how are you dealing with that situation? I would just like to know, and because this is a human being like me, but they're tapping into like a whole different situation that I don't think I would be able to handle. Yeah. If you're a psychologist, if, like, let's say you're a driver, you just drive buses from one country to another. Yeah. I want to know, how does it feel? Because like, how's that experience, by the way? You fly planes. I remember there's a girl, by the way, who told me, she's my friend, I don't know where she is right now, by the way. All the best to you. But she was like, I'm going to Wilson, by the way. I'm going to do my flight. I was like, what do you mean, your flight? I'm like, yes, we have hours to cover. So, I mean, if you don't have anything to do, we can just go and do, like, I was like, okay, let's go. So we go.
Those are good problems.
No. But here's the thing. I'm like, so you can just call me and then I go, we do the flight. She's like, yeah. So we went. But, because me looking at her, the way normally I am, I'm like, I'm always saying, like, women don't even drive cars properly. She's like, by the way, I'm a pilot, right? Like, come on. Yeah. It's like, I'm doing flights tomorrow. If you want to come and join. So me, I'm like, this has to be a prank. And then now it starts getting real. We are crossing now. It's like, she's removing her badge, nini. She's like, yeah, we're going to that plane. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. By the time we're in the air, and I was just praying to God, it's like, God, I know I got myself in this situation, but, I hope she's a good pilot.
Jesus take the
But yeah, after now, like, doing the trips and stuff, we land down, I'm like, so how does it feel like, by the way? Because you flying a plane alone and everything. Because, like, in my mind, like, that's anybody who's doing something that's slightly different from what I'm doing, I'm like, I'm just interested. Even if I'm not planning to go and pursue it, I just want to know how it feels. Yeah. So tell me about your experience, and I think that's what entrepreneurship is all maybe about. Entrepreneurs look at things differently, because that's why we're always intrigued with so many different things.
Entrepreneurs are mad people.
No, that's true.
They're mad because all the ideas are crazy.
And it always seems crazy until it starts working.
Something works.
Yeah.
So you've said about land. On the crazy part.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the land, the space, and the scalability, I would say, people say, I can't do farming, I don't have land. Yeah. No, there are so many idle land in Kenya. That's why
that would be one of my biggest problems. Like, okay, so now
how do you maneuver it? I know in your head you would want to see that you want to get an investor. Definitely. Because you say, I don't have that cash to buy land.
Yeah.
So animals, I say, animals, you treat them like a relationship. Mm-hmm. You have to love them and wait to see if they love you back. So if you have that, like they say, you have some circle there or something, they can advance you some facility. Mm-hmm. Don't buy land. If it is goat, you are interested, you get in a warmer climate, land in warmer climate. There are so many people with big tracts of land that are just idle.
That's true.
So that's something you can tap as an entrepreneur. You're not looking at, you're like a...
So are you like leasing? How exactly does it work?
Technically, so you look for a person who has an ideal land that can do that farming. Okay. So once you have that ideal land, then you can approach that person. Because the beauty about animals is just fencing. That place is not... And you can always go with your chain link anyway.
Yeah,
so
true.
So one is that people need to remove from their mindset that I don't have capital.
Yeah.
Capital is there. At the beginning of our podcast, we were speaking about skill sets. So if you have that channel of viewers, wake up in the middle of the night and think about the strategy in terms of converting.
Yeah.
Can you do a product, or can you reach out to another person? If you are into fashion, if you're a fashionista, reach out to guys who are doing
Always saying
clothing,
that. Yeah.
cloth
Always saying
lines or
that.
something, and then say, hey, can I have a dedicated link to me,
Yeah.
so that any purchases made through that link,
I get a little bit of something.
it's like affiliate marketing.
Yeah,
So
affiliate
that's the only way. I tell guys
Or I
sometimes,
showcase your clothes, you give me a little something.
or
you
I
know.
put them on and
Yeah.
I show them once
I
they
don't
want.
even need to keep them by there because I know
Yeah.
they're worth money. Let me put
No, I
them
just
on.
put them on, I
and
show,
then,
and then now
I return them to you. You
Yes.
just pay me a little something.
it's thinking outside
There's
the box.
somebody who's going to pay you for that.
Definitely.
Somebody will pay you for that. And I think we're in a very good spot right now because everybody is doing content.
Yes.
Because me remember, like when I started to doing content, I was being told like, hey, this social media is for kids, this social media is for nini. But I was just like, no, man, people are making money, this social media. What do you mean it's for kids? And then now things started changing in offices. You start seeing things, people are getting fired because digital is taking over. I'm like, oh, so I was not wrong.
You're at the tail end.
So I was like, oh, okay. And that's why at times, like I think now, just keeping an open mind to learn things
Yes.
takes you very far as well.
And books.
But of course. But I'll also tell you like another thing. And what is this called? Because now this is like a debate that I can always have. I've had with people before. And even when I was doing a Euro trip,
Yes.
we were like in a squad of like people who were like 7 and everything. And, you know, everyone was talking about like, you know, I have this degree. And it was just going round. And then it got to me and then I told them like, but I don't have a degree. So everyone was like, what?
How are we surviving?
Everyone was like, what do you mean?
What do you do?
What do you mean? Yeah, exactly. So they start talking that. I'm like, yo, no, I do a lot of other different things like stocks and but they're like, oh, but before you get there,
You must have had a
yeah. Like I'm like, no, by there, like I did probably graphic design. I was into arts and everything. They're like, okay, So like, okay, during your free time, how do you educate yourself? I'm like, and then this like, and everybody, you know, this is like up for debate because I told people I don't read books. And they're like, Kwanzaa, there was a moment of silence.
It's like, yo,
They all said like,
this is an alien.
Kwanzaa, I remember there's this lady who looked at me and then she said, you don't read books. I was like, yeah, I don't. But I told her like, here's the thing. I also like did research. It's called something like Kinaesthetic learning.
Yes.
So my way of absorbing information, I can see somebody doing something,
Then you
go research, try and implement 1-2 times. Of course, not like I don't read completely, no. But I'll do my own personal research of like things that I'm trying to learn, pick notes here, pick notes here. And then
create a package.
before I know it, the same way you know all the things that you know, is the same way I think I know everything. Even when it comes to like now finance, the same way we can sit with somebody who's done probably like, you know, what are the courses that people do in Strat for numbers and nini?
Is a CPA.
Yo, those CPAs and everything. I haven't done them.
Yeah.
But if
We're good with numbers.
we're good with I'm good with numbers. If we're talking about investment plans and everything,
You know where
if
to
we sit in the same room, yo, listen, we all have to just put our cards on the table.
all hands on deck.
My cards will be the same as yours. But I just realized my way of learning is slightly different. But that's how it works for me. And that's why I was just trying to talk about like the perspective of how like even when we're talking about like a child growing up and they've said like you can have parents who are pushing you. They've talked about like your friend who's the lawyer.
Yeah.
He did all that and then that's not what
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But you see, maybe
Both of them lost.
yeah, it's just unfortunate. But his case is not just one. There's so
isolated.
many other cases where people are different pressure because they're like, I have to do things this way.
Yeah.
No,
Societal pressure.
If you notice you're slightly different, as an entrepreneur, Kwanzaa, we just know. We've said we're all crazy by there.
Yeah.
So just because I don't like maybe reading, these are a
Another
different
alternative.
way on how people learn. And I
Yeah.
think that's why in countries like probably Japan, Korea, and even the States, they pick different ways on how people...
You'll have survived in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah,
because they'll be like, okay,
from your skill set.
okay, let's put him here, and then he can still nini. So understand, like, even if it's not books directly, there are other ways that people absorb. Because to be honest, like if we're put in a room, we're told this is how you learn. If you're reading the books, but I know how I would learn French. If I had like the hot French teacher, number one, there is nobody who's going to compete with me. There's nobody who's going to compete with me, number one.
That's why there's a book called The Unfair Advantage. I know you don't like, but
Yeah.
The Unfair Advantage is
Is there an audio version?
I think so.
I can do audio
Me,
version.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
But anyway, the unfair advantage means
Yeah.
you have an unfair advantage. Why? One,
Yeah.
you're not reading the way normal people
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
You have your own tailor-made way of doing things.
Yeah.
See, for you now, accumulation of knowledge is faster.
Yeah.
The other guy will want a lecturer to come.
True.
And there's a reason why a priest sits and watches a different direction from the rest.
True.
So now for your case,
Yeah.
you don't want to sit there and be
No.
and someone to make you appear stupid.
No.
You prefer to go and do your own research.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you for sure that's what I used to do when the teacher left. I'm the one who survived. I was even
Actually,
I
true.
was the guy who was even on parade. The principal said, "There's this crazy guy. Computer, he got 98%, but." That's what he said. There's this crazy guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell him we don't have a French teacher, but he's saying he left computer for French. Then I told them when computer guys will be finishing, I'll be working.
And
they thought it was a joke, and it worked. I met him and he said, "My son,
Yeah.
you are doing great."
And I think that's why you're saying, like, even for you had to go and do, like, just personal research. The way you said, from music, you can listen to a song. You're like, oh, okay. Movie, now I can watch
I
probably.
I used to be a DJ in first year law school.
That's why you're asking about, like...
Yes, but virtual DJ.
Oh!
I was just
No,
holding
but
a gig.
then how many people could afford equipment then?
A few people.
Very few.
But me, I was just holding a gig. Then mosquitoes bite me. Then that's how I lost my... I think right now I've been a very serious DJ, but the mosquito bite.
Yeah.
Then I say, oh,
no, I can't do
I
this.
was tipped that night, by the way. Because, for me, I'm very good with soul collection. So this guy was another genre, but the moment I just did a slight switch,
Yeah.
they were asking, where's this guy?
I'm like, okay. Ooh.
I just got a clean 3K, just like that.
No, but you know what? No, we have to go back to our nini, but...
The land.
Yeah, to learn in
Investment.
goats. But I'm always saying, like, I think it's so important for people to understand, even when we're taking segues, to go back to the conversation, it's like people to understand, like, how important all these things
Tie together
and even build you as a person. Because even you from that place, you're like, oh, somebody just gave me 3K for
Imagine.
playing with Nini.
Joking with the computer.
Yeah, and we also have to put it into perspective. Let's say, I don't know how much Mjengo guys get paid, like probably nowadays. But you can't say it's not at
the location.
It depends with the location. But is it like how much? Is it more than 500?
Some locations. It
Some.
depends with the contractor.
500, 1,000?
We just give it rough or take even the 500 itself.
Yeah,
You
roughly.
can use budget.
As for an explanation,
Yeah.
you have to. That's why I'm always saying, like, even just understanding how at times numbers and having information, knowing about numbers, it's so important in how it deals with everyday life. So that when you assess and look at someone, you're like, okay,
You can always tell.
and that's why now consultancy comes in.
Yes.
When somebody has an expertise with something, I'm always saying, like, if you're paying this X amount for somebody to give you information,
There must be reason.
this person will save you a lot of money. A lot of money.
I'll tell you something about
A lot of money.
That's why how you see everyone. No one has pain when it's personal gratification.
Of course.
When someone is going to a club on a Friday,
Yeah.
he shows up very early, just like church.
Yeah.
He shows up very late now, the opposite.
Yeah.
But you see now, the analogy of a club and church is the consultancy analogy. This guy is willing even to invest, let's say 1,000 goats, but he's not willing to even tell you, hey, which mistakes did you do so that I dodge them? So it's the church. So guys take consultancy as the church and say, why, this guy wants to, like farming is a hands on deck.
No.
How can be a training be in the city?
What?
Now, like for you,
Yeah.
you already had your own calendar and you have your own business calendar.
Yeah.
But you say, hey, this guy has brought the gig here in CBD.
Yeah.
Why? I need to know. If you want to invest in something, don't invest anything that you don't know. When I call you to the masterclass, for instance, I'm not calling you to put on gumboots first.
No.
I want to prepare your psychological angle, and you see that, wow, I need land.
Yeah.
I need chain link, not just any fence. then I need structures. Not just one, but several. I need vaccination.
Vaccinations.
Not just once,
Yeah.
but several.
After a certain duration, I have to
There
make
are
sure
some
it's...
after every 6 months. There are some
Yeah.
after every 1 year. There are some after 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So those are things that someone who is I always say, you talked about your friend who is a pilot.
Yeah.
Then guys try to do things pilotless. Auto mode.
Yeah.
The same way,
Yeah.
me, I'm an old school guy.
Yeah.
I'll still insist that I must be in charge of that steering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I saw a movie where
Do you drive a manual car or auto?
I drive both.
Now, what are you driving today?
I'm a manual.
Okay, even me, I'm a manual guy. So it's the same thing we're talking about. Like, you know how when you switch to auto, you're like,
You're not feeling the gist.
yeah. That's what I think when you're talking about hands-on, it's almost like the same explanation. It's
Yes.
so different. If you give me like an auto now when I'm driving, I'm just like, I feel like there's something off a bit. But when the nini, I'm engaging with a lot, I can hear the gears switching.
Yes.
I'm like,
You'll not
tell.
sleep.
I can tell, like, even if there's something wrong with the car, it's like, hey, I've had like a bit of a noise. But on an auto, I wouldn't.
You won't feel.
Yeah. So I think it's almost close to like a correlation there.
So the challenge I have is investment. The guys ask, where will I get the money?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how
yeah.
do-
Let's talk about
So
like
how-
I think
how-
the
capital-
initial capital,
Initial
right?
capital, yeah.
Yeah.
So initial capital, as you had explained, whatever we had been talking about has a connection.
Yeah.
So the French part, I still do French translations. So I use it, and if it can sort the rent, the house rent, then whatever I'm working on an 8 to 5 job
Yeah.
can now sort this other side. So skill set combination.
Yeah.
Don't do anything, and don't have a paper, a certificate that you're not using.
Yeah.
And cockroaches are doing ballet on top of them.
True.
You must go and pick those papers and try to see, not looking for a job, but you,
Make it.
online.
There's
Online is
online. There's
is a
every.
serious.
Eh,
I say,
Is there any job now that you can't translate it to something online?
bro, I'll tell you. I used
Yeah.
to be a search engine optimization. I used to do SEO.
Yeah.
That is in 2007, 2000. It was expensive.
Yeah.
HTML work is difficult.
Yeah.
But I can tell you,
Yeah.
I've done organic traffic. Organic traffic is dangerous than paid ad. Because you see, organic traffic, you're building a community. For me, I have a bigger community.
Community that trusts you first of all.
And also learn.
Yeah.
I get calls. Even 1 week ago, I got a call from a lady who was saying, my husband is not getting sufficient revenue. Then I need to assist him.
Yeah.
You see, now they're looking
Can
at
I learn
farming.
something
They're looking at
that I can-
farming, whereby they're saying, this is a lawyer.
Yeah.
And this lawyer is doing farming.
Yeah.
What is that unique in that thing that this guy is in it? Why?
Yeah.
If COVID strikes tomorrow, God forbid, but unfortunately, we have different types of COVID. It can be policy, regulation, it can be change in certain
So
market
many things can
dynamics.
change. Market will change definitely.
Yes. So you don't do one thing.
Yeah.
It's called risk diversification.
Were you, and this is just like not off topic, it's still kind of related. Were you stressed during COVID?
For me, I was not.
Exactly.
For me,
exactly.
I was not because
I had people even needed therapy just because they don't know how to stay in the house or go and do something different.
I'll tell you.
For me, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so people are stressed, but I do this every day.
For you?
I wake up with an uncertainty, nini.
Yeah,
But
an entrepreneur.
and I actually dwelled more during COVID, and that's what gave me like a good foundation base of everything.
I started TikTok during COVID.
There you go.
And right now, I'm very proud of having started the channel because I told myself I left opportunity of YouTube as I had talked.
Yeah.
Slid my hands. I said this time round.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about privacy issues. It depends what are you pumping in
Yeah.
to the algorithm.
Yeah.
If you're pumping in things that are not related to you individually, then you see there's no aspect of that.
Yeah.
Now that's where it comes. TikTok is an investment channel.
Yep.
TikTok is visual.
Yeah.
So go out there, do whatever it takes to even buy 5 or 7. Give us your story on how you got those 5 or 7.
Yep.
Those are 5 or 7 goats.
You will connect to people.
Investor might be listening. I might be interested and say, yo,
Yeah.
you're doing crazy stuff. I'll tell you, 2 weeks ago, I didn't have fuel for my car. You see, no content creation, you move around so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I was planning now to go and refill it for tomorrow. But I said, let me not refill today. If I refill tomorrow, I'll not stay in the house.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
content creation is more of, you sit down and you in the middle of the night, you have something to say,
Yeah.
I have to go to Nyeri.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I said, let me tempt myself by not fueling. Guess what? While I was parking around 7:30, then I got a call. And I said, hi, where are you? They said, I'm tired. but it's 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Then I said, where are you? I'm in Kilimani. So I went.
Yeah.
So that's an investor.
Yeah.
So we had a tete-a-tete. Then the guy tells me, no, just come. When you come, I'll sort your fuel. Because of the one who has called you.
Yeah.
So having those tete-a-tete sessions.
Yeah.
The guy is a nice guy. He might be listening. The guy did some full tank for me.
Yeah, it's like,
12,000. I've never forgotten.
Yeah.
12,611 and 50 cents.
Wow. But you see, that's what I'm saying.
If I would not have been on the screen,
of course.
For me, I call it one thing. I don't call it TikTok. I call it a gun.
Yeah.
Using the camera lens.
Yeah.
No matter low budget.
Yep.
My TikTok channel, despite clarity these days, I began with an Oppo A7. I stayed with that phone for like 6 years till it died,
That's when you said like, okay, sir, you've served me.
It served me. Then now, that's what I was
Mm.
telling you. It's not an issue of asking, why that expensive? It's an issue of the niche.
Yeah.
So I did a scale up and told myself that there's something I saw and said, iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm not a bougie guy. I'm a budget-friendly guy. But I said, there's a guy who said, for you to get good algorithms on YouTube is pushing some content that has, when you post with iPhone, there's like a way the content goes.
Yeah.
So then I say, since my Oppo has decided to fail me, but it was a good relationship. Till today, I still have it. It's
the one that built that foundation. First of all, let's start with that.
Yeah, it's still with the phone repair guy.
Yeah,
I have not lost hope. Even yesterday, I can even show you on my WhatsApp. He said, "We'll try it another day." He even follows me on content-wise and says, "At least even on your WhatsApp, you're giving us something and
something that we."
So that's why one,
you
have to start. You cannot go on a negotiating table without any value addition.
You have to.
You must have, even if it's 3, 4, 5. Through those 3 or 4, 5, you will learn. Those are things that hands-on experience, which you see them, you feel them. The moment you will see the first kid, you can even have 5 goats, but the moment the first one is born at the farm,
changes everything.
It changes everything. You're
changes
like,
everything.
yo, man, this kid is very beautiful. It's just like human being. This kid is very. I have to go back. So I have to. Sometimes you can be at work, but you are stressed. But the moment they send you that picture, you see like, that kid.
I'm not wasting my time.
The same way like a parent, watches over a kid.
Yeah.
So my girl is the one who made me resign because one day she woke up in the morning and heard me talking. And that was the eureka moment. She came and said, "Daddy, I felt it. It's not, you see, sometimes we chase wealth, but wealth is not categorized using money.
Nope.
It's the peace of mind. That's why.
Nope. Yeah.
That's why even Mark is doing ranch now.
Yep.
Why? He is trying to find peace with himself.
And even like a little bit of downtime.
Yes. So therapy sessions.
Yeah.
I was using the farm as my therapy. Once I do my Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday I'm at the farm.
Yeah.
Why? I'm investing slowly. Sometimes I say you might say I'm an entrepreneur. I cannot be employed.
Yeah.
Bro. People investing you see the way you are saying. Even the employers are not willing to invest in you if you don't want to work for them. Go and try to get a job.
Yeah.
If not a job, depends how you're wired. Kama ni mtu wa kujituma, open the lens.
But I think even now, when you've mentioned that, things like 8 to 5, I think at times I'm always trying to tell people, like, once you do like an 8 to 5, just a bit, depending on if that's where you last for a long time.
Yeah.
But if you just do it a bit, and you do entrepreneurship a bit, you balance
test the waters.
The way you can balance like your 8 to 5 is supporting something on the side.
Yes.
You will understand the importance of why these are the things that you're doing huku nje.
Even why the employer is mad at you.
Yeah, mad at you. Why he can't, like, you're saying, oh, I want an increase in salary.
You will understand.
It's like, oh, this salary is not changing, my friend. But you'll understand why. Once you put yourself in the shoes of an entrepreneur and you start comparing your boss, then you see like at times maybe you come to work late. He's the one who's invested in equipment, everything, salaries. Even when clients are not paying, your salaries are still coming out,
intact.
You can take a kalos hapa here and there.
There's an
akauba there, or even if it's transportation, he'll chip in. But all those things, once the tables turn and you're the one who's doing them, you're like one of the person who's taking care of your things. Like, tuna need fare, chakula. You start putting all that. You're like, oh shit. Now I understand.
Why?
Now I understand. Yeah, because you can't stay. You want to earn the same as your boss. Do you know how much sacrifice is doing? But do you understand what he has done to be there?
Yeah.
Whether he's a good or a mean boss, at the end of it all, if let's say subjective, let's just say as an entrepreneur, once you put your shoes down and try and do something for yourself, you start respecting other people's journey.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it's not easy.
Yeah,
it's not easy. You know how you can have it today and tomorrow everything is?
The way you've just said,
yeah.
The moment you are looking for funds to start up, then you have to change the mindset.
Yeah.
You are no longer an employee.
Nope.
You are a person who other people rely on you, and change of the mindset.
Yeah.
So if you don't even know how to do it, attend sessions, let people inform you, attend training sessions, let them tell you what you're expecting. You might want to start goat farming just for your therapy.
Yeah.
Attend sessions and know, what if I want to scale it up? Why? Why should you be doing a job that is not your dream job?
True.
You can do it for sacrifice. Charles Dickens says you do a little wrong for greater good.
True.
So for me, I had to do the work for 3 years. Yeah. I told myself on my birthday, I will. That will be my last day.
Yeah.
So every day I used to wake up and give myself 3 reasons why I should either come tomorrow or not. So I used to count it. So by the time I was resigning, it was 1,450 times. Why?
Yeah.
I was on permanent and pensionable job. But you see, I watched my mother who was a TSC person and said, I don't want to work till I die.
Yeah.
I want to come out as early as possible.
Yeah.
So I'd given myself a target of by 35 I'm a very rich man.
Yeah.
Or by 30 things had not taken shape anyway.
Yeah.
But with time now you realize that while you grow in skill set, a side gig, don't leave your job. I always tell guys, even if you're doing farming, farming is an art. And just like martial arts,
you need a plan B,
in case
because of the uncertainties we've talked about.
Two things. Either plan B is a skill set. For me, I'm doing my risk and compliance consultancy as well as law, but I am choosing less days for law and more days for farming. Why?
True.
There is a wrong concept towards definition of a side hustle.
Yep.
Someone says, "Hi, I'm putting some 2-3 goats for side hustle." What is the meaning of side hustle?
Yeah, what does that mean to you?
For me, side hustle means, I'll introduce another term, main hustle.
Yeah.
So for us to get the right thing is, if you're in an 8-to-5 job, in the people with the methodology of job security, that is their main hustle.
Yeah.
Okay? In an entrepreneur mindset, the side hustle, if your salary is 25,000, then the side hustle is giving you 27,000.
Yeah.
I'm just giving a small margin.
Just Now,
which one is the main hustle and which one is the side hustle?
It's one that brings more.
Exactly. Now, you flip it.
Yeah.
So that's why you flip it now. You see now.
So now prioritize on
where the numbers.
Because this could potentially
skyrocket. Why?
Yeah.
Agriculture, I get a worldwide base. I was even called by another lady in USA. She wants to set up a farm in Benin, and she had researched about me and seen I speak French as well. So skill set, bro. That's why even the channel, I'm almost creating a fan base for now in French. Now you'll also be seeing some French content.
But you have to. You know why? Because that's why I'm telling you, it's so crazy. Because I remember even just moving around France, because we went even now in the countryside.
Yeah.
Because now we did bus tour when we're doing the Euro trip thing.
Yes.
So you can even pass through now we're being told okay, this is the area they do farming and nini. I'm telling you. And the best thing about the thing with France is the people who don't speak English, whether you talk to them, they just respond to you in French.
They just look at,
or they talk to you you can hear, and they can see you can't even hear what they're saying, but they talk to you in French.
Yeah.
And I was just like, my God, if I only knew some French, because I'm a very social person. If I say hi to you,
tapped to something.
Yeah, if I just say hi to you and then you say hi back. Immediately we are friends, because in the next 30 minutes I'll make sure I engage with you and everything. So you find that small hurdle of just being able to speak this language
gives you another advantage.
Yeah, so I can imagine you're a smart person. For one, of course, you've learned already this foreign language, of course. And then secondly, you are an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs don't just go somewhere and just Like, I don't want to talk to someone.
The moment I see you starting another segment of podcast, then I'll sit back with my notes and say, this guy is up to something.
This guy is up to something. Something
this guy
going
cannot
on.
just roll a series.
Yes.
Just like that. So that's why I will say, I'll give an example. There's a guy, there's a guy skill set, and 2, space. Minimalistic thinking.
Yeah.
I've seen people in Kiambu doing great. A guy is in a 40 by 80.
Yeah.
He's doing 80 dairy goats. And that 80 dairy goat, let's leave the expense part. Let's just do the numbers. 80, and if he has like, let's say 50 years milking, when you're a farmer and doing dairy goats, you are equally a pharmacist. A pharmacist meaning, not the PH, but a pharmacist, because doctors prescribe you, if you are lactose intolerant, the doctors prescribe goat milk. If you can't drink cow milk, it means goat milk is the option. Even cancer patients, they are usually advised to drink. It's an issue. It's an issue of, it's not an, even when you are doing it, it's not an issue of getting money out of it, because probably you're not an entrepreneur. You just want something that when you are in your retirement days, you don't want a lot of hustle. You look at this picture, an 80-year-old man sitting in an unmusical matatu. Instead, and look at this other image. You are queuing. And then everyone is looking at you asking, what is this old man doing in the city?
That's always the question. Even everyone is just like.
And look at this other old man. He doesn't have a lot. He has 7 chicken. Then he has 4 geese. Then on the other side he has 2 dairy cows. And 10 dairy goats. And the guy wakes up. He doesn't have an alarm.
There's no noisy environment or anything.
It depends with the synchronizations of the birds chirping. That now wake him up. He wakes up with some healthy milk, which you are prescribed. You look at that picture, my friend.
No, but I think that's also something that now a lot of people take for granted, because I think, yes, everybody's talking about like hustle culture, and even everyone's like, even in women, sorry to bring it up again, I'm independent, I can do this and this. All those things, yes, good for now, we can have that conversation. But always remember, like, what about once age catches up? And everybody wants to be laid back.
I have a problem with the older generation. They call me a lot. But there's a time I did a segment is don't invest in goat during your retirement time. It went viral. Old men are calling me and saying, hey, my son,
what do you mean?
What do you mean? That it will take us to hospital? Then I say, it will take you to drip. You can imagine the station I told you of the South African goats
that
dying.
high blood pressure, you can't.
Bro,
you can't do that at old age.
I was cooking pancake that day, man. Now I can tell you, man. And my brother was joking and told me if I were you, because I'm on first floor, if I were you, I'll have jumped out. Can you imagine? As like jokingly, he's saying, like, my friend, you have the heart, ukona roho ya simba.
Even me and my friend, we're always talking about those ninis, like, you've said you've gone on losses. Have you heard this story? And then somebody's saying like they lost like 8 M on Sujumpaka. I'm like, me, I don't know. I'll need to be
keep quiet.
I'm like,
when you're depressed, I have one advice. When you're depressed and you're not even an alcohol person, go and buy Sprite. The way you are a nice guy in terms of conversation, hold conversation. My brother, true. I tell you, the moment you hear it, you'll go back home and say, let me repair my marriage.
You'll chill.
Let me repair my marriage or relationship.
True.
So that's why think like a guy who does not have. That's why this guy 40 by 80 is putting maximizing. A guy with a lot of resources never thinks about it.
Because it's there. It's there already.
Saying, he might have lost 8 million, but it's just a pinch. To him, 8M is like $500,000. So like, bro, it's business.
It happens. Okay, like what? It happens where? To who?
If it was another time, then the guy would have cried.
Of course.
But you see now, that's why investors angle now, if I speak on investors, that's the greatest challenge. So I say the greatest investor you can ever meet is yourself. The skill set angle. If it's facility, you have a chama, save somewhere. Save something and have your own money, because when you have your own money, no one controls you. The late Steve Jobs was even kicked out of his job.
His own company.
So that's why I say, let people you scale up. Pilot. While you're in a job, pilot and continue. slowly.
Let me
as
see
you grow.
another question that I wouldn't want to leave out by there, because we've talked about social media,
Yes.
of course, health,
Yes.
building a strong client base, hardships we've mentioned as well,
Yeah.
how you got in the industry. Actually, all the questions that I've actually put here,
Are already.
we've actually kind of, like tapped into each of them.
Yeah.
But, something like, if we're talking about future plans, that something that you're aspiring to grow into as you still do like
The other
do we call small stock, or now because if you're scaling up,
small stock.
it won't be small stock anymore, because
Yeah.
it'll get to a point where now that's not the term that you're using.
I'll use something else.
Something else, because it
An
keeps
entrepreneur
on.
is a crazy guy.
Exactly.
So I told you the scenario now. The next venture is now me getting 2 horses for farm trips. So when you come,
horses.
yeah, 2 horses for farm trips.
Also, when
you come and seeing the goats, I
Yeah.
don't want to give you an experience that is, Shakespeare says.
Okay.
Shakespeare says
Yeah.
he does not jump with the common spirits or the barbarous multitude. So I want someone to feel that agrotourism.
Yeah.
You feel I'm selling health.
You're in the farm.
Yeah, I'm
If
selling
you're
health.
riding a horse though, and you're checking out, those are the ninis, that's a whole different experience.
That is just one.
Okay. Hey, because like we've said also, with Kenyans, we can't just put everything out
Of
now.
course.
Because now
That's one.
somebody,
The horses.
next day they are doing at farm touring, nini.
They can do it, but they'll not do it like GoatMaster.
They won't do it like
They GoatMaster.
And actually, no, I've had 2 guests.
Yeah.
No, one is actually a professional equestrian. She's done it in the States. I think now she's back in the country. Come to think of it, I'll ask her to come back if it's possible.
Yeah.
But she also has like that experience. She's the kind of person like from breeding. Is it not? I think she does like all of that. So I think that would be very interesting. Let me just see if I can find her handle so that you just have a rough idea
Yeah.
by looking at even like the jumping ninis, feeding them, grooming them.
Now this is
She's done all those things. So it's just interesting when you mention something like that. I'm like, because
she's living my life,
she was in the podcast
she lives-
and I asked her, so like, okay, what are you planning to do? She's like, I'm more of like an equestrian. I was like,
What?
I was like, oh, you swim or I know aqua has to do
With water.
So I mean, and in my head, she thought I was joking, but I was like, so it's like swimming. It's like, no. I was like, you need to break it down to me because I'm not joking. I really don't. And then she
Like a baby.
introduced me to like everything, like and I was so intrigued.
Yeah.
And even now mentioning about water, now I got like an Olympic swimmer as well.
Yeah.
And somebody who's doing like skydiving. So I think it's just important to understand also like just how we can interconnect in so many different ways. Because now I'll send you like a link of her episode because she's also a very interesting person.
It's a community.
And you just never know. Maybe the next time
You
I'm
never know.
talking, you guys are talking about horses. I'm like,
Horses.
I introduced
No, the horse.
I
I'll get it
introduced you
from-
guys and now I don't even have a horse.
I'll take it from her.
No, actually, they do have stables if I'm not wrong.
That's the number.
If I'm not wrong.
That's the number to.
I mean, we'll find out after the podcast.
And using a good name. You might not have connections, but I will use your good name.
No, once you say my name, you trust me.
There's a brand.
Yeah.
So-
Because they remember like we mingled in a very good
Oh, but
way.
you
Personal stories and everything. We're good.
you are a simple guy. That's the thing I like about it. Anyway,
I appreciate
But now short term projection is
Yeah. Because
Quite-
I think now I think with that we can now
can
be
now
able to
wind wrap it up.
wrap it up.
so now the short term aspect is why the masterclass.
Yeah.
The masterclass is bringing about.
This is you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I just had to show you.
I will,
so
I will,
that
I will, I will send you a picture of now imagine goats behind.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, because that's
No, but I'll ensure I'll tag you next time. Once the horse is on the farm, I'll tag you by December this year.
hey,
Anyway, amen.
let's shake to that.
Amen.
And people always saying inshallah, so I'm hoping
Inshallah.
that, inshallah. So we're hoping that happens. Hoping that happens so as soon as possible.
So-
no sound,
so
no
the-
like projection now.
Yeah, the masterclass
Yeah.
is not even about. It's not about the training. It is about having a network of farmers who are sure that they're investing in something that has a ready market. As a farmer, it's not your job to wake up in the morning to be rained on.
Yeah.
to the sun, the scorching sun on you. The issue is there must be an end game. So this one is like for the golfers, they have a golf club. Now for the goat and sheep, the small stock, we call them shorts. It's called shorts. Shorts, it's sheep and goat. Sheep and goat is short.
Oh, yeah.
Short.
Okay.
So now we want like a short club.
Yeah.
Whereby these are small stock farmers. When they do it, for me, I get so many inquiries about goats, and it hurts me that there's another farmer who is having a stock that he wants to sell, but struggling and carrying them.
Doesn't even
the
know how
transportation, he doesn't have the fare to the market. You see the beauty about online presence. Someone can travel far wide and come. Why? He knows you.
Yeah.
So the moment we build it's more of the interest parties. I'm building a community of goat and sheep wealth. These are guys who want to scale up. They don't just want to be the normal kienyeji, ordinary person. They want to scale up. I'm looking at a dream.
And avoid all the mistakes that,
Yeah, I'm looking at a dream whereby these goats that we're getting from South Africa, we can be able to breed even a unique breed like the way I'm doing Boer and Gala and export it, because even Nigerians want it, West Africa want it, but I don't have even that sufficient number to sustain everyone. Yeah. But if you have a community, where if one farmer is in distress, all of us are in distress. A community where if the Lord the way has blessed me with a good channel of TikTok and YouTube, I can be able to use that leverage and say, this guy, there's this order of 200 goats. Who wants to pick it?
Sure.
So you are sure that once it's 5 months and you have some stock, then you can post it and say, hey, I have this. Everyone can just update in the club. It will be an exclusive club. So those ones who are not joining now,
it's gonna be tricky. It'll be like joining like a golf club. It will be like, you have to put up a certain amount of money to get in here.
Anything which is exclusive has its advantages. So we're looking at even having monthly webinars by even the trainers in South Africa, in Botswana. So we're getting a different wealth of wisdom monthly. So there are so many advantages, because for this masterclass, we are doing it by Kenyans. Yeah. Kenyans. It's like Kenyans for Kenyans. I'm not bringing in an external facilitator. Why? I want someone who is starting from scratch, wants to know in a Kenyan understanding.
Within our environment. Things that would affect us in our environment. So
what are diseases? What are the medicine? Yeah. So we are looking at something which, if I start today, it's like I have a blueprint, not a business plan. A blueprint. Yeah. Is a master plan. Yeah. Whereby in case I have some challenges, I have somewhere to reach out, and that community. Because
from this community, it is not somebody has the answers.
It is not even GoatMaster himself. Yeah. I might be offline. I might be in my risk and compliance. Yeah. But there are other people who are also doing well in it, because
credible people that they give you information. It actually works for you.
We have even like Acacia Livestock. He's the one who will come to talk about how to import. Then we'll be there to share our experiences, acclimatization. So we take you through and know, are you really ready to import, or you start with the Kenyan one? We'll give you the double-edged sword. Yeah. So you choose your portion.
Which one do you want to...
Choose your portion. That's why the guys in alcohol say you should always drink your poison. Yeah. If you're a white cup guy, just do white cup. Yeah. And don't shake the water. So that's why it's more of a creation of a community. Even that's why reaching out to you, it's an issue of seeing... we can do bonfires. We have another podcast on.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
No, so
it's about community. Why? The moment COVID strikes, you have the platform. I have the goats. I can ensure your family does not.
Listen, I don't take anything for granted. Even that's why, even it was just a no-brainer, and that's why I'm saying, there are some. I'm sure, anytime you see my different guests, it's somebody doing something completely different, and you're like,
no, I'm impressed.
Oh, this person is doing. That's why, even for this week's episode, we're not mentioning the details, for obvious reasons. But there are so many other different people who are like, what? But I was like, but this is something that people are doing as well. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, you need to understand, just tap into what's happening around your environment. Yeah. It could be my son would be trying to pursue something. I have a daughter.
When you say my son, you remember, I told my mother in 2007, she asked me, what are you doing in Mombasa? Yeah. And I told her, I'm lecturing French. Okay, that is something, because she's a teacher. Yeah. Then I said, on the side gig, I want to concentrate on web design. She told me, is that a job or a joke? But 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, I did send her 10,000.
Yeah.
Then she's like,
a conversation changes.
Yeah, she's like, where did you get it? And I said, web design. Then I said, continue. She told me, continue doing that thing.
That's it. And I think I've also told like a lot of different people here, like even just when you're starting off something, you're still trying to figure it out. Even when you're expressing it, maybe when you're younger, you're expressing it to parents or anything. They still don't understand. You send them some paycheck, just something out of the blues, like you're just doing something, you put your money on the side, send them something even.
Follow the number.
And then I tell you, that conversation changes. Because you know why? Because even them, they know it's not easy. You just don't wake up and money falls on your lap. You know, like somebody paid my son for this thing. I was thinking it's a joke. My son, you're not working today?
Yeah, he's
hey, Bana, you're supposed to nini. Just go do something.
Saying you're not working, my neighbor in Mombasa, one morning, on a Sunday morning, she asked me, what do you do? Then I used to resign at night, and then I sleep in the morning at 7. Then she says, I thought you were a thug. Then I say, why? Then I say, you don't come out. No, you don't come out, but you are nocturnal, you work at night. Why? At night is quiet.
It's quiet.
Then people don't... I think
most creatives, that's the quiet time.
Yeah,
kids are not playing. Nobody's going to come to knock on your door.
Of course.
No interruptions, no phone calls.
Even caretaker will be asleep.
No, everyone is... Actually, at night, if you're a creative kind of... That's the most productive time. So you can always end. Of course, if you're not doing an 8 to 5, you can now take a nap to slightly mid-morning there, and you've recharged you, okay? Because we also rest is also important at the end
equally,
of the day.
mental health and rest.
All those things you can't
that's why for
overwork
me,
yourself.
For an upcoming parent, you can see that we had the A students, and unfortunately, I've seen them celebrating a lot, which is not bad, but they're not yet out of the woods. Yeah. I will say a guy who has not managed to go to campus, that's a dangerous guy. Yeah. Because this guy will go to Mjengo. This guy will go to anywhere. This guy, just like myself, because it took me 7 years, I could do anything. Yeah. I could do anything to put food on the table, to sort my bills, to sort whatever responsibility. So that's why I say, that is good.
It is.
But dirty money is bad.
No, that's...
Reason being, that is good. Why? Yeah. If you have your V8 car, and in the middle of the night, and it has a mechanical problem, you realize that you will be... You will shiver, fear, and even if it's been a while since you made a prayer to the heaven and call upon the heaven, that is the moment when you will now raise your voice and you call upon the heavens and say, may the Lord protect me.
Please.
And you cannot even remember the last time you were in a church. Why? You're just praying that the mechanic can come. So my question is one. A mechanic is a guy who is always filled with oil. So he's dirty. Yeah. From the human eye, is dirty. However, when I go to the supermarket, there is no supermarket, there is no doctor, there is no lawyer who asks me, what is the color of your money, or what is the source of your money? No. They're so much interested in. That's why in a supermarket they give you till 0.99.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they'll give you a sweet.
Yeah.
They devalue you.
They
devalue you and give you something which you cannot use it to trade. So that's why I say that is good. A parent should not say that my kid must be a lawyer. That's something wrong. Yeah. And I'll say again, there was this boy, Escape the Matrix guy. Yeah. There was this boy who are you talking about our lawyer friend who's in the blogs, Ama? No. There's a university kid who said that the lecturers are having cheap cars.
He was suspended immediately. You said, what color is your Bugatti?
Yes, you see why?
Yeah.
That boy. It's an issue of just packaging and choice of words.
Yeah, it just packaged.
But I will say, you can escape the matrix. Myself, I'm doing even the family. But if I say, people will listen. Why? That I'm a lawyer saying it. Yeah. But because he was a young boy who is seeing that, he's doing some maths. Yeah. Doing calculations and saying maths is not mathing.
Because he said, like, all our teachers, look at the cars. Look at the cars. Look at the cars they're driving, which was just being
honest. It was an honest talk.
Honest.
But at the wrong time.
At the wrong time, and people who do not want to hear that.
No, but by then I was in government. I would have taken that case of his. I would have taken it free of charge and represent him, because for me, skill set.
Because you can't just suspend someone because of that, honestly.
Skill set.
Don't we have freedom of speech in the country?
Well, and where there's something, even if it's defamation, there's a defense of justification. If he can get other guys and myself, I'm the justification. I have no problem getting another lawyer. Then I go on the witness stand and explain to them, hey, despite having done this and this and this, we need to embrace diversification. The school should be an opportunity of networking, not an opportunity of mudding you up with content.
And
networking.
Now even, because I know we're almost out of time by then.
Yes.
We have 8 minutes remaining. But I also have to ask you, because now you being in the law background field and everything.
Yes.
What do you think about like the guy, what's his name? The guy who was practicing law without papers and stuff. The guy who's popular actually on TikTok, because we're talking about like, platforms where like people build themselves, and he was getting cases and actually representing people. And even to me, I know I had put him in the folder of guests to interview before that popped up. And I'll still interview him anyway. His name is Brian or something. Brian something. I can't remember the second name. But, who allegedly, we have to use those terms, right? Because he knows his stuff. Other people know their stuff. Allegedly was... taking cases and everything. Like, just what's your opinion on that? Because as somebody who's like studied, practiced, and still can be able to do it like for the longest time, like what's your thought on that as we wrap it up? We have 7 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So although it's a matter in court, so I cannot be able to still a matter in court.
Oh, are you representing him?
No, I'm not representing him. It's still it's a matter that is still in court. I don't want to be able to
put a verdict
to put a verdict on something that I don't have the pleadings of the case to be able to see, but I can say in general, we need to find ways of embracing skill sets. We need to find ways of nurturing skill sets. So that's what I can say. Let's not be able to rush down and injure someone. Yet we can try to see, and no matter the circumstances, there must be always a way out. That's what I can say. So, but in terms of the other thing is an issue of due diligence. Someone does due diligence in whatever the transaction you're getting yourself into. Yes.
Okay, that's a good way of putting it in law terms. So now, as we just finalize, because I want us to save anything else for part 2, because for us, honestly, I've noticed we can really talk over and over again.
Next, we'll have the risk and compliance one.
Let's just pick it up for part 2 and just keep the conversation going. But as we wrap it up, just tell people where they can find you. Anything else that you have going on that they can go and check out online. Just feel free. The platform is yours. And I think we have a few more minutes. But about your masterclass, you can't say the date because this is going to come out way after that.
Okay.
But we can do
a slight segment.
We'll finish this, and then now we do a slight segment, 1-2 minutes where you promote the masterclass, and then now I can post that separately,
which is fine.
So just tell the people where they can find you. Anything else you have going on? And as we just close it up.
Okay, so you can find me on the socials, GoatMasterKe, on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and IG. So in the same handle. So we also provide consultancy for those ones who want to do goat banking. So if you want to invest in goats, then that's where goats and sheep. That's where now the small stock angle. For me, I'm more of concentrating on the small stock because those ones are a bit easier to manage than the other ones. But that one is subjective. Another farmer will prefer a dairy. I know it will be a big battle with a dairy cow owner, but for me, I see those ones are easier to manage, and they procreate faster. And at the end of the day, it's about return on investment.
ROI is important.
It's been
because we can't forget the main reason for doing it.
Don't get rained on for free.
True.
But it's been real conversation.
Thank
and also showing. I'm impressed. I didn't know the part that you don't have a degree.
I don't.
You have added my list of my book. I'm writing a book.
But I'm just telling you, anyone who thinks they know about finances, come talk to me. Let's have a debate.
Chat you behind the
financial planning and
financial literacy.
Financial literacy planning from anything. Like self-taught, but like I said, mine is just like I learned things a whole different way. Probably even if I attended some certain classes, a lot of things that people were studying then wouldn't have made sense to me now, because the things that
But you're right.
I'm on top of my game.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
There's the units of accounting for lawyers. Personally, I never attended that class, but you'll realize, like in that book I was telling you, I know you don't like reading.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean I can get an audio version when I'm doing my job.
Yes, for once, I'm recommending one.
Tell me.
This is a guy who is doing it from an escaping matrix way, and the father used to do an all-in-one boutique of services. Then he told the son, don't just get any customer. It should be clients with a higher profit margin, but remember to be fair. So this guy, he's advising entrepreneurs on accounting. They want to invest in something. He's advising them and saying, scenario A, there's Rolf, and the wife, scenario B. So he talks about follow the numbers. Even if you don't even engage an accountant. He's an accountant and a lawyer.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing the accounting part is giving him a higher leverage. So he's giving you like a situation like, how do you even calculate high profit margin?
True.
So he goes and gives you COGs, cost of goods that you have bought. Then he gives you an explanation, but a small formula whereby you take this one, take the sales, subtract this one, subtract the expenses, then concentrate. Don't concentrate on sales.
That's true.
Concentrate on high profit margins.
Even when you're saying that, because, it's so, there's this basic thing, I think, where was it? I think I saw it like on business, Mark Cuban or something was like, some people do business and they don't even understand you. After the profit has come in, you're supposed to restock things.
Exactly.
But then some people got into business after everything comes in, like, all the money's the same way it came in, goes out.
He's the bandit. Where you at?
Forgotten, like, the profit is just a portion of this. These other ones are supposed to go back and restock other things. But
there's a break even.
That's a whole story for a different day. Let's just wrap it up. We're 2 hours, 30 minutes. But thanks for coming to the show.
Yes.
And, I hope, I wish you nothing but the best, bro. The Kisscapades podcast is your gateway to holistic growth and personal transformation. Together, we'll unlock the secrets to living a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. So make sure to tune in every week and join us as we explore the essence of what it means to truly thrive. And lastly, show us some love and support in our social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the social media platforms that, support podcasting will definitely be there. Even with the short clips and reels, you can find us there. And lastly, don't be shy with feedback, suggestions, or any questions that you might have in regards to the episodes or our podcast. It's the Kisscapades podcast. Goodbye.